This is pretty exciting. Hi friends, welcome to my $10,000 origami collection video. And today we are going to be checking out origami in that case right behind me. That's gonna total maybe somewhere in that mark, as well as the collection of books I have, which are on the bottom of the case. So I'm super excited to share this with you all. Let's get to it. I always like to think that origami has value, and there's definitely been a lot of talented folders and designers that are up and coming that are pushing origami to be an art. And I think it deserves value. And I just think that, everyone's work deserves value. So you can start to kind of gauge, what origami is. It's not just a craft anymore. There's potential for it to reach, And so here we see, we're going to keep track of the value. And there's two values here. So this is where I'm going to explain some of the rules and how we are calculating the cost of origami. So the real value is going to be the cost of a model if I had purchased it from someone or if I have sold it to someone for that cost. And if I haven't sold it to someone, it'll be what I've been offered by someone to purchase the origami. So that's kind of the three categories. I'll go over them again. So the real value is determined by the price that I have actually sold the origami design for, or what I have purchased it for, or what I have been offered to buy it. Now, offered would mean that I thought the price was too low or didn't want to sell. So I was offered that price and declined. And the rest of the real value cost will just be by materials. So just by the cost of the paper. So, if it's something I folded and I've never sold a copy of it, we're just calculating the cost of the paper. Now, perceived value, what's the difference? So perceived values is, I think those still have value. And originally I wasn't going to include this, but over time, as I've been talking to people about this idea and, some feedback from you all, I think a fair, it's a fair calculation to just kind of keep track of. And how I'm going to define it is the price of the model. That is the minimum wage of where I live times the approximate amount of hours spent on the model. Now, this is going to blow up the price like crazy. So that's why it's the perceived value, not the real value. Because I think still the minimum wage to hourly kind of conversion is it's crazy high until I actually sell one. So that's it's more for fun, and we'll get a bigger number from there. And think I have like a clickbait type title, or if you saw the thumbnail, it says like $10,000. I think we're going to get kind of close to that with the perceived value. So, it's not exactly clickbait, but in some sense it kind of is. But we are going to see, I think we're actually going to get closer to it. The real value will be not too far off. So that's kind of exciting. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. And that's how we are going to be calculating this. We're going to start off with none other than the Square Twist Samurai. All right, so this one is a little strategic. For one, it's one of my signature models. And two, it's going to help us set our value a little bit early so that it's not like set super low originally. But yeah, okay, this is my Square Twist Samurai. I probably actually haven't shown this in a long time. But one of my signature models, it's still one of my favorites. And it's a design between me and Mark. And Mark was here earlier. I'm not sure if Mark's still watching, but go say hi, Mark, if you are still watching this. A month if I work hard enough, right? Or get lucky enough. The Square Twist technically can be folded from the same Samurai V4. Let's start with this. This is one of my signature models. I have actually sold one of these models. It is the last Samurai that I folded. I haven't folded one since the one I sold. And does anyone want to guess quickly in chat, what's your thoughts? How much do you think I sold it for? All right, we have some good guesses. We have $1,000, $2,000, $120, 4K, 400, 7 million, 1 million. I wish if I sold this for 7 million, I'd be sponsoring like way more people to come to origami conventions and everything for sure. Based on your text, I will reveal. So the last one that I've had has sold for, drum roll please, and boom. Yeah, no, this one's special. That was very nice. Or actually, I've stopped trying to sell these samurai. I folded way too many. So right now the price is at 4,000, and that seems to be the stopping point for generally what people want. And the art gallery is probably the most targeted place, or the place where you can have the most targeted audience for people who will actually purchase art in general and have the budgets to do so. I don't expect at all to anyone to buy it from me online, but it was because it was in that gallery that I was able to secure that deal. I don't expect it to happen again anytime soon because I haven't been trying to get into any art galleries recently. But yeah, very special. Shout out to Mark. Super, super cool. This is still one of my favorite folds of all time. This was the first one I made. So this was like on display, and the person who purchased it actually just wanted their own. So they requested like a different color and everything. And I made it bespoke for them and sent it over. So very cool. And somewhere out there, there's a happy owner of this piece. We're going to go to the next one. What's the next one going to be? You've all seen this one recently. Yeah, DPA Sword and Shield. This one sold. This one has not sold yet. Now, the price I would probably sell this one for would start at 4,000. Just because it's kind of a pain to make. And I don't want to make too many of these. So I'm going to start this one pretty high. Now, some of the other DPAs have sold, just not this particular one. So I won't count it, but we will calculate the real value still, which is by material cost. And I made a spreadsheet for myself so I can remember how much each of these favors cost per sheet. This one was from the Hiromi Kozo, I believe, which is $5 a sheet. So this is just one square of that Hiromi Kozo. So we're going to add just a quick 5 to the real value. And perceived value is going to be a little different because it is hours spent times the minimum wage. And the minimum wage where I live is $13.20. It's one of the higher minimum wages, I think, in the country. Now we just have to think about like how long did this actually take me? This is probably what I consider one of my best works of recent, and I spent a lot of time on this. So we're going to just average. I don't want to overestimate. So I'm going to underestimate a little bit and say 40 hours. So that's like 1 week's worth. So 40 times 13.2. There you go. 528. And let's update that. We're going to have to do a lot of mental math today, I think. Okay. But we have the calculator to help us. So for already, right? Our total for what our title was, we're almost halfway there. And that's with just the first 2 models. Kind of fun. It's kind of crazy. Pretty cool. I really like this model. It's pretty cool. But okay, next. All right, we're just, the first row is like my favorite pieces of all time. So back to back to back, we have probably my 3 best pieces, right? Square Twist Samurai, DPA Sword and Shield, and Head Empty. Now, Head Empty, I was tempted to change this real value just because it's won an award. But, we're going to keep it fair. It's still going to be the same rules. Perceived value, though, there's 2 of them. So we're going to calculate for both, but treat it as one, which is kind of fun. But I feel like I could sell this if I wanted to. I just haven't. But this is some of my favorite. Like this one's so cool. I think even if people offered it to me, I would have to refold and make a new one, which I was thinking of doing. I was just thinking of making a bigger one to sell because I love this model so much. I don't want to part with it. There's like almost no amount of money that would want me to just give this one to someone else. So I'd make another one so someone else can have it. But yeah, so this one is, this is made from, also Hiromi Kozo, but like I'm gonna count as one sheet because it was kind of made from the same amount of paper, but then tissue paper on top. So tissue paper is like negligible. So I'm just going to add the $5. So we're at 3,510 for real value, and then perceived value. Each one of these, they didn't take as long. So I think both of them were about 30 hours of work. So that is 396 plus 4280, 4676 is their current total. Like that. Pretty fun, right? I think most people can agree, or a lot of people have told me this is their favorites. And from a lot of non-origami folders that see my origami for the first time, like if I'm meeting someone new, a lot of them tell me that this is their favorite as well. So yeah. Also, a lot of people they want a tutorial for this. Again, this one's never going to get a tutorial, but I'll give some tips. Like if you want to see the 3D view of this, right? This is what it looks like. Confused by this flap. So normally it sticks out the front and it's in front of the head flap. So what I haven't shown on the crease pattern is that you need to invert it through the shoulders to do the closed back and just mostly to get it out of the way. But it is a little confusing. This one's a little bit more obvious what I was going for, but this one's named Housing Crisis. And it is made from, what is this? I think this is the fake Wenjo from Amazon. So it's the brand that it looks like the real Wenjo brand, but it's different seal. So it's not. And this was from the same thing. And I can tell because you can kind of see those lines running through. So these will share the same price, same square. This one is called Cliffhanger. It used to be taller, but this was kind of floppy and you can see through it. So instead I've turned it into its own stand so it can stay up on its own. But it's still kind of cool, right? So these are pretty fun. Grout took around the same time. These ones to fold both took around 10 hours each. Let me first add, I think the fake Wenjo is like $4 or $5 per sheet. Three, it's even cheaper. Okay, so for the real value, we're just gonna add 6 here, and then for perceived value, we're gonna do we're gonna combine, so both for 10 hours about, so we're gonna do 20 times 32 plus 4, 6, 7, 6 gives us, oh, we're really close to 5,000. All right, there we go. That is our updated pricing. These are really cool. All right, we showed this off a little bit at the beginning of the stream. And if people who weren't here, Mayunchi, I met Mayunchi. I went to his wedding. Mayu Origami gave me a print of his copy. This one, I wonder if it's too tall. This is my fold. So the thing about my fold is I think it only looks good from one angle. The face is hard. I think I can do a better face now, but this profile was not great, honestly. It's sure it's shaped a lot, but that doesn't really mean it's good. But this angle, I think, makes it look better. It looks okay. It's not bad. But the key detail here was I was doing a lot of study in anatomy, and I was trying my best to, work on defining muscles. There's still tons of mistakes here. It's not fully anatomically accurate, but I think proportion-wise, I did okay. It's close to being correct. Not exactly, but close. Like at least having bicep, tricep, or that's not the bicep, like shoulder, bicep, tricep definition, some sort of like elbow and showing like the forearm with a wrist joint. Same thing here. We have like our quads right down to the calf. The calves were so hard. Like you can see on this one, I tried, but I couldn't get the definition. There's like your calf muscle, and then you have your two bones, and the way they interact with each other is different. But like overall, it was pretty cool. I think I did a decent job on the abs here, and like the belly button. So that was kind of fun in the obliques. But yeah, it was like an experiment just to try and learn. Now this one though, the reason why I'm talking about it so much is this is the one I was offered. Someone offered to purchase it, but I declined because it was right before the New York convention, and I wanted to display it at the New York convention. I folded this as like an experiment / collaboration with the plant psychologist and Chris. And I wanted to display it with my friends. So, I declined the money for friendship. You can think about it that way. But also I didn't think it wasn't worth enough to sell in general. So I even offered like, afterwards, if you want it still, this is my price in real value. Yeah. Even if I was offered that price again. This one did not take very long, nor is the material very expensive. It's on a box of printer paper. I'm not even going to factor that price. This is double tissue that I have purchased. So I have two separate things in my Excel sheet. Double tissue I made, which is like $1 or less per sheet. And then double tissue I've purchased. This one I purchased from a guy named Az, and he sells it for between $7 and $8. I think it's $8 now per sheet of double tissue. I'm going to bring people Juon paper that's like 35 centimeters. So it's going to be a little bit smaller, but I think it'll be fine. A little bit thicker paper, but we should be able to get through the collapse relatively quickly and start shaping it. Not everyone will finish their shaping just because methyl cellulose takes a while to dry, or in this case, we're going to be using glue to shape just because it's a little bit faster. But that still takes some time to dry. But it's not too hard once you know what to do to start shaping it. So I think that'll be a really fun class, but it's definitely like I would never teach something like this, but I thought it'd be pretty cool just to try. And later on, when we hit 20,000 subscribers, this is also going to be an option to make a tutorial from. So potentially in the future, you all will be able to fold this as well. This model honestly would be really great as a tutorial. I'm personally hoping people vote for this one. I think it's going to be a better tutorial than the square twist samurai. Just because the square twist samurai is so hard, like the tutorial is going to be really brutal. This one is like the perfect size of complexity for a tutorial, in my opinion, and it still has tons of shaping options. So I hope people vote for that one. Super cool model. This one took around like how long did it take? I'll say like 10 hours, just because it was my first time, and I spent a lot of time shaping it. You definitely don't need 10 hours to do it, but I went a little overboard on the first one. So we'll say that one's 10 hours. We'll say this one is 1 hour. And then this is rooted. This one's kind of cool. So this one is a unique structure where it's got like the grounding, I guess, on two sides. So, you know, there's not like a full reason or concept behind it. But I've enjoyed listening to what people think and their interpretations on what this piece means. So actually, I'm going to offer that up in the chat. If you can, just like briefly type what you think it means to yourself. Like, what does it make you feel? Let's see what responses we get. But this one actually took me quite a while to make. This is made from, I think this is also the fake Wenjo, so $3 paper. Yeah, I folded a lot with it. I'm actually almost all out now, and I switched to the Hiromi paper, but I think this was the fake Wenjo. And it took me around like 15 hours to shape. So I'm going to run the calculations while y'all type what you think it means to you. Okay, and we're going to do proceed value first. 15 hours plus 10 plus 1. That's 26 times 2. 343.2. We're going to round down. So plus 6. And that is 6,700. And then the real value is just the material cost. So this one is like, I'm just going to count as $1 plus 3, it's 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. So 16 plus 12 is 28. That took me way longer than it should have. There you have our updated values. I don't think it's ethical to sell folds that aren't my designs unless I have explicit permission. So if I wanted to sell, say, like a Beth Johnson model, I would very much talk to Beth first and ask her, right? And I sell them. So it's like, it's not too much. If you really want to be serious about selling models, like have kind of some rules for yourself. Now, I know some people, there are other situations where, you know, they either sell it for the material cost or they sell it, I don't know. But don't brag about it if you don't get permission. You know what I mean? Don't market it. Don't tell me. So these ones have sold, but for about the same price. Also from being in, and because they have sold, I'm going to count them as the same. This one has the sword in his hand. This one has the sword in his back. I'm not going to make too much of a difference, right? But hey, there's a tutorial for these. So you too can fold these. So we are, we're already hitting our mark. This is now 10,028. And I might have to expand the text value. This is 11. Pretty fun numbers, right? Pretty fun numbers. And we jumped to the next decimal mark. You know, maybe my clickbait thumbnail that I thought was clickbait was actually undervalued by a lot because we still have a lot to go through. I thought we'd be around 7 at this point, and then like the books would catch it up to be close to 10. We underestimated ourselves. Still clickbait because over to, oh, you're right. It's not accurate, right? Yeah, it's not accurate. That's good. Cool. Okay, enough of these. Right, these guys are pretty cool. I think my favorite part though is like this is when I was exploring closed back. This one actually has a closed back. This one's like a fake closed back, but like it still kind of works with the sword. All right, that is case one. I purchased this very recently. This is by Anise, who I also featured in his death battle round, which he won with the Three Musketeer crazy fold. Which Anise, if you're watching this, if you're willing to sell that, just hit me up with a quote. But this is awesome, and I feel like I got this for a steal of a price. I would have paid probably triple of what I paid for this, and to still get one, because this is phenomenal. There's so much style that Anise has. There's like a different touch. You know, when I compare it to my folding and my shaping, it's completely different. Even though the base paradigm of box pleat humanoid type things is similar. The folding and shaping and finish completely unique. So I love it. I got this for $90. That is a complete steal. Like I said, I would have paid probably more than triple for this exact piece. If you start selling your own designs, you know, if it catches my eye, just let me know. I am an easy target audience to offer things to. You know, I'm not gonna buy everything, but if there's something I really like and you're selling it, you know, maybe I'll swoop. At least just let me know and we'll see. Right? We can talk. Related ones out of the way. Clear this case quickly. Mark, want a griffin? Oh yeah. Oh Mark, I might hit you up for more than a griffin too if you're we're offering. We'll talk. And then part 2 of the collection review, you know, maybe the price is about to increase a lot. All right. Okay, so let's start with, okay, I'm gonna count Ara as $1. Actually, I think this one's really well folded. I've made one for the tutorial, which at the time I thought was better, but now when I look back at it, I think it's worse. So I think this one's actually the better fold. It's not really attached to anything. I should probably give it its own display stand. It's just a balanced model, not too over the top. I don't know. I went through a period of time where I don't know, whatever. Interesting model, right? Interesting model. $1, right? $1, very easy. It's actually made from nice paper. This is a Legion Mulberry with Sharpie for the color change, I think. But it's like a small piece of it that was left over. Okay, here we have more double tissue from Az, and this is my bunny girl design. So again, this double tissue, it's really clean, right? No wrinkles, like perfect double tissue. $8 a sheet. That's worth me paying for. When I see double tissue, that's better than mine. So low key, right? That's the bunny girl. Bunny girl has a tutorial that's actually done pretty good. I think that video might have almost made me back the money for the cost of paper I spent over the past like 3 years now. So hey, return on investment, you know what I'm saying? Return on investment. For instance, this bunny girl has made me more money than like the Chainsaw Man, which is more complex or something like that. Or even the Crunchyroll girl who's up next. But this probably took me 2 hours to fold. So 2 hours, we'll keep track of that. $8 real value. These go together. Next we have Crunchyroll Hime. This is the mascot for Crunchyroll, which this one I was trying to get like some collaboration or sponsorship from Crunchyroll. That would have been the return on investment. I didn't get anything, but I got a little bit of recognition. I think I got like retweeted or something like that, but totally fine. Little bit of engagement, no actual return on investment, but that's okay. This is a fun model. I think this got me starting to use a lot more color change. And this was probably the most complex color change I'd done up to the point in terms of like fully closed and then like a lot of components that are color changed. So it's pretty fun. And then the mascot has a cat. So cat is Kami. We're not really going to factor that in. The Toyo Kami, it's like 5 cents per sheet. So I'm just going to round that down. But the Crunchyroll Hime, she took me a while. This was a lot to shape, probably around 15 hours. So we'll add that to the perceived value. All right, next we have Chainsaw Man. So Chainsaw Man, I made this when the manga was wrapping up. I should have waited for the anime to release because then I would have got a lot more attention, I think. I think the video I made for these is actually pretty good, but I missed the timing just a little bit. So yeah, I think the Unryu is $4 a sheet, and then this is double. So one's black, one's white. Technically it's like half. We'll just call it double. So yeah, it'll $4 a sheet. We'll say it's $8. Still a kind of cool model. I think the structure is interesting just to do the chainsaw. And the following up for the anime series is Makima, who's also from Chainsaw Man, and this is a double tissue that I made. So this one is not as good. So you can already see like wrinkles, right, in the pants, like here. Maybe the light, it's hard to see. But even in the clothing, there's like wrinkles, and it's smaller compared to like perfectly clean. This was actually supposed to be a test fold, but I shaped it well enough that I just didn't fold another one. But interesting example of color change. Here, I didn't understand too much about neck and how to leave enough rivers for the neck. So if you were to fold the crease pattern, it's a little bit weird unless you shape the neck in this pose. Then it's like kind of okay. So this one I got bailed out with my shaping ability. The structure is not that great. Still kind of cool. The color change tie took around 10 hours. Makima took 8. So 18 plus 15. 33. One for our Ara. I was like, where is she? 34 hours. So proceed. Got an additional 448. Oh, yo, what's up, Jared? Yo. Oh, thanks for joining the membership. Oh, snap. Real value, it was double tissue, $8. My double tissue, $1. It's 9. Double Unryu is another 8, 17. And then last one was tissue plus lesion. The lesion is also 8. I'm just gonna not count it. And then Ara was like just $1 worth of material. Okay, plus 26. So 44. Cool. Takudachi by K. Morisue, the one and only K. And then we have from Genshin Impact, and then from Starfield. That game is so sad. So when I made that video, I was taking a risk that the game would be good. You know what I mean? I spent like, 20 plus hours folding and editing that video just for the game to be overwhelmingly bad. It wasn't even mid. It was just bad. Ah, that's so sad. I've almost probably spent more time making the video than playing the game. Okay, but the design's cool though, right? It's kind of cool. Man, yeah, that one was a miss. Hopefully we don't miss too hard in the future. Honestly, what I should have done is jumped harder on Genshin Impact. That game still doing pretty good. But the color changes were really fun with this model, and doing like the closed legs were really cool, and the backpack and the helmet. So yeah, this was like I had a lot of fun making the video. Wow, the thighs are caked up, low key. But yeah, very volumetric model, very 3D. Which is very cool. And then the paper itself was Nicholas Terry's cannabis paper or hemp paper. Completely legal, by the way. But really funny name. And very interesting to use. And it keeps such a cool texture. So I do want to fold with it again, just because like the modeled texture was all natural and it was super neat. So that was really fun. I'll say this one took like 20 hours. The results don't really reflect 20 hours, but it took a lot to figure out. It's kind of cool. This paper is actually discontinued, unfortunately. This was one of my favorite papers to fold with in general before. It was a washi deluxe. And this is, if you guys know what a takodachi is, you do, you know. If you don't, you don't. But if you know, you know. And yeah, this is designed by K. Yeah, he's not just a regular designer, but yeah, you know how it is. Very cute. And then this one is from Genshin Impact. This one didn't take long to fold at all. I forget why I wanted to design it, but it's probably because I saw Obelisk working on Genshin Impact Origami and made me want to do it too. Worked out. This is also, so this is a Legion Mulberry with Unryu. So it's actually really thick. I had another one that I folded with double tissue that the thickness was way better. This one's like way too thick. But the color change is kind of cool. And, maybe doing this set me on the path of like the collaboration with Mr. Pokey, where I can do these types of figures really well. I think the Tingyun is one of my best waifu folds and best color change folds in general. But right now, this is a little sneak peek. But I'm trying to do more folds from that game, Takadachi. So 18 or 8 plus 20 plus 29, 2, 32. And I'm just chopping off the decimal point. I'm not really rounding or anything. I'm just chopping it off. Close to 1, 70 or 703. And then the real value. So the Washi Deluxe is actually kind of expensive to buy just the sheet itself. So yeah, it's like $3 for the 30 centimeter size. Just this. So that's $3. The combination of this actually is kind of expensive because it's Legion with it. So 8 plus 4, 12. 12, 3 plus, and then this is the tissue, which is like nothing, with the hemp paper, which is $4. 4 is 19. 4. All right, so we're slowing down a little bit in our value. This is by Levin Peters. Amazing, insane wet folding with Arches watercolor paper. So already this paper, it costs like $10 a sheet or more, depending on the weight and like condition. So like, I don't know everything about this paper, but you can get like cold pressed, hot pressed. There's tons of thicknesses and it all changes the price. I have no idea why, but it's special. So yeah, the paper itself is already expensive, but this is got some expert craftsmanship. And honestly, this has been study material for me as I'm working on my faces, because I'm trying to see what Levin's done. He also has some live streams and recorded videos, but it's really interesting to just see the very delicate places and like very precise parts that make it anatomically correct. This is crazy, right? And let me look up how much this costs or how much I paid for it. I have the rough number, but I forget the exact amount. I will find it. 180, which look, honestly, I probably would pay more if you were to sell more, because these are awesome. The one that I really wanted that I would have paid more for was already sold out though, or someone had bought it, I think. But I love this one too, and yeah, it's just so cool, super cool. That belongs in the museum, right? Yeah, no, leaving stuff is crazy. Oh, when you're calculating the hours spent on each model, are you counting for design time or just folding time? A mix of both, mostly just folding time. If I counted design time, it'd be too much. It'd be too much for some of these. Okay, so these books, I'm gonna try to calculate all of them using Origami Shop and Amazon, if they're on Amazon, and or Origami House, but I just messed up my hair with that. This is one cabinet. There's another cabinet of books. And then I have more books in my other place too. Okay, so let's get started calculating these. This is gonna be a little bit hard to keep track, but we'll maybe like double up. Okay, I'm gonna keep a tally on my calculator app, so I think that'll be the easiest way to do it. And then we'll tally everything up together. So this, it's from Colombia, I believe, from their group. I could be wrong. I haven't opened it yet. I probably should, but I was giving them out for people earlier, so maybe 10 here, like $8. Okay, we'll say 8. I think it was 8. For some reason, my memory reminds me. Okay, next we have. Let's do this one first. Works of Hojo Takashi. This is from Origami House. I think it's still in print. It is relatively new, and I'm actually going to go by the Japanese price right here. So this is 4,000 Japanese yen, which let me convert that really quick. But I think it's like 35 US, diffed a little bit. So, okay, we're going to say 20. I'm pretty sure I paid more for this than 25. We'll say 25 now. That's what it's worth now. So, 8 plus 25. Awesome book. Really cool. I haven't really folded from this book yet, but I've read through the diagrams because I was really interested in the sequence to like instruct people to fold like Shibaraku and some of the other models in here. It's really neat. Like you can see the crease pattern just from the cover. Crazy. It's like 400 steps. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Like insane, right? Insane. Okay, this is the dollar bill origami book by my dear friend Janessa, who Janessa passed away last year. Very much a staple for the local community and Origami USA. She did so much for the community, like it's crazy. Trying not to tear up, but let me see how much this is on Amazon right now. You can still get the book. You can fold this. I know for international people, it's going to be a little different. Okay, so it's 13 right now, so plus 13. But yeah, no, it's really fun. I've recently folded, helped fold for like a tribute we did at our local Japanese garden that our friend Yuki put on. So I folded a lot of things from this. Super, super fun. And even if you don't have US dollar bills, you can cut paper into the size and fold stuff. Like, look how cute the bulldog is. Super cute. But really, really awesome. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is the from China. Hard to get. I believe I did a giveaway with these. I can't remember. I think I think this was last year at Origami USA. I gave away a copy. I believe I purchased 3 of them. This I don't think I can find on Origami Shop. Maybe I can. Let me look really quickly. But I think I bought them for around $25 each. I spelled it wrong. Or if someone else remembers, let me know. Okay, Dancing in the Flowers. It's 30 euros. Unavailable on Origami Shop. Okay, I'm just gonna say 30 US dollars. I don't think I paid 30 euros. So that'd be like 35 US dollars, I think. So we're gonna say plus 30. That could be right. Okay, here we have Origami Tessellations for Everyone. Number 2 by Elon. Now, Elon is great. Elon's been doing a lot recently for creators, so people in the design space. I gotta sneeze real quick. This one you can actually find on Amazon, and I purchased this book as my guide in learning to fold tessellations better. And that was when I was competing in the IOIO competition. So this one is, right now, it's $28 on Amazon. Fun book. I gotta go like a little faster, I think. Yeah, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, Janessa. Okay, let's go with this one. This is the origami diagram book. Also, partially with Elon and Beth. This one is just like, if you like diagrams, these are different styles of diagrams, all drawn. So the book itself is kind of like the art, not just the models inside the book. And this is also Brian Chan's design in the front. And his drawings as well. So it's really cool to see people's different styles in drawing and with origami. So really cool book in general. So I think I could find it here. And this is 18 euros. I'm just going to convert euros to US dollars. So it's rounding down a little bit. It's a little bit safe. So plus 18. Pretty cool. Okay, now I featured this one for a while. This book, I think this is the Polish origami meeting from 2016. And I don't know too much about this event because I was just recently getting connected in the community that year. But I think it was a combination of like a origami convention with like math, not quite like OSME. I could be completely wrong. I have no idea. But the reason I got this was I had been working on hex pleating with the plant psychologist, and I won't show too much of the diagrams, but Robert Lang diagrammed a hex pleated model. And to my knowledge, it's one of the very few hex pleated models that's diagrammed. I still have yet to fold it, actually. This is something I do want to fold, and because I think the frog looks really cool in general. But it was also just for me to like study, like how do you even diagram a hex pleated model? Complete wild, right? This book was off Origami Shop as well. Let me look it up. 35 euros. Okay, let's do this one. This one is Transcendent Origami. This is the one with Tsuda Kyohei Owl. And I didn't even realize there was a Canis Metallifera here. This guy. There's some awesome models in here. I wish I folded some more of it. Some of the key ones was definitely like the Kirin by Satoshi Kamiya. Yeah, and there's a lot of cool stuff in this book. I haven't done a whole lot, but really great book. I can't remember if I bought where I got this from. Maybe it was Amazon Japan, but on Origami Shop, it's 40 euros, which I'm pretty sure I got it cheaper from. I think I got this from Amazon Japan for sure. These are both Tomoko Fusei books. Okay, this is the one I bought at Peacock because I got it signed. I was like, one of them is signed. There you go. 10/27/2023. Tomoko Fusei. Pretty cool, right? This Tuttle. Okay, so Tuttle posted it. This one's $13. Okay, we're already at like over $200 worth of 1450 yen, which is probably going to be like $7 US. $9 US. All right, here we go. Origami. This is also from China. I think this is on Origami Shop as well. I think I bought it from SAOC directly though. 20 euro. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe this is the Nicholas copy. I think Nicholas sold the printed copy, but the digital ones were sold by SAOC. 20 euros. I'm just gonna count that as $20. All of these guys are awesome. Shout out to Sin. He was one of the latest OBB competition judges. Super kind. Awesome designs. Really cool book. Okay, here is by Mi Chen, Origami Kaleidoscope. So this kind of shows some steps in like designing, but designing is more so in this style, I think. Is that what this one is? Yeah, I think this is like, it's more than just a folding book. Also Nicholas Terry book. Oh, nice. Okay, Terry has got the prices here. 22 and a half. I actually haven't done much from this besides just look through it a bit. Oh, here's a cool one. John Montrell. Polyhedra design. John is a legend. If you don't know John Montrell, well, you probably do, actually. But one special thing about John's books, which this is what sold me on the book just to buy it for the interest in how he structures these, is John is really good with music and has organized a lot of how the book layout is laid out in either like symphonies or in some type of music theory organization. So there's like tons. If you ever get to meet him at a convention, I recommend just trying to get in a conversation and ask him a little bit about how he structures his books. And he'll tell you so many fun things about what he's done. And also like some of these are like one sheet polyhedrals, or most of these, I think. Crazy, crazy cool. Like you don't see this too much. It takes convention book. I think these are like $20 normally. I'm just gonna say 20. I think it's 25 now. It's gotten a little bit more expensive, but convention books. All right, okay, this is what we were reviewing earlier. Faraz was doing this type of origami, where it's the 2-color flat folds. And this book kind of shows a little bit on how Miwu designs it as well. So there's like some theory on how to work it out. I did not understand it at all at first read. I have to do a lot more studying if I want to be able to design these, but one day I want to be able to understand it better before that color change. I think it's super cool. We're just gonna round this to 30. All right, we're almost through the stack. Okay, here is the one that I was giving away, that Zen one at Peacock. This is the potential collection from Korea, potential origami collection. I also bought 3 copies of this. That seems to be a trend. It just be like that. 32 Korean. Let me see what that is. It's 23. I think I paid more than that for this, but that's okay. Yeah, really cool book. This is probably one of the most complex books when you consider each model that's in the book. Most of them are on the high intermediate to complex level, like this horse, the centaur, the bugs by MK. Like everything in here is like ridiculous. So really neat to see. When I was amazing book, one of the books of all time for sure. Dex, head in bed. Yo, get some good rest, Dex. Thank you for joining the stream so late. And same with you, Mark. Yo, shout out to Mark and Dex. Thank you for joining in. Look at those sub badges with the anglerfish. Is that 6 month or like 1 year sub? Yo, that's crazy. Can you bring it tomorrow? The origami? Yeah, Jared, I'll remember to bring it tomorrow. Without even knowing that, I knew you had it in you. Thank you, Spot. Thank you. Yo, thanks for the confidence, man. I like that. Oh, Jared, you're totally right. John Montrell is pretty hardcore about 1 10-inch square only. Yeah, that's so true for everything. Is that fantastic? True. Okay, so here is Comic Origami. This is by Sin. This is actually a way thicker book than I remember. This is crazy. So yeah, shout out to Sin again. I've used this book for multiple OBB competition prizes just because it's such a cool book. What is this? Oh, this is Satoshi Kamiya. Oh, maybe I shouldn't link this. When Satoshi Kamiya was a special guest for Origami SA, we got diagrams. I don't think they've been released anywhere else yet. We gotta take them home. That's pretty lit. Okay, this is Sin 34. Yeah, Sin's style. Sin also has a style. So I think earlier I mentioned Anise has a style. Sin also has a style. And so he's nicknamed that Comic Origami. So there's Comic Origami and Comic Origami 2. I also have two. I don't think I have the physical copy. Okay, more. Oh, this is by Kucha. So if you don't, Kucha is in the Discord as well, posting occasionally. Another great two-color flat fold designer. Like, look at that clock. Um, and the koi. Okay, the koi fish isn't flat fold, but Kucha is really talented. A lot of these are insane. So this is another one that I wanted to get inspiration from. Like, look at this. Like 24-hour. Like, that's crazy. That's such an interesting way to do that. All right. I think at this point, I'm just exposing how much money I've given to Origami Shop. Drawing Tome 2. This is from the Drawing Origami series by Nicholas Terry. Really cool hardcover origami books. These are so satisfying to own, low-key. The Vogue book is like this too, I think. The hardcover. Really, really nice. 34. I don't think I folded a single thing from this book, though. I think I just bought this because I wanted it. Let me see if I have. Sometimes I fold some simple stuff. Did I ever fold Ricardo's plant? I don't know. I also like the astronaut a lot from this. Oh, I've done the Oriol Esteve tiger. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to do the Mr. Fish. I missed that class from Joao. I love Joao stuff. All right, well, I might fold some stuff from this later for fun. Just because, Mr. Fish, that's probably what I'll fold. Is there a Discord to join? Oh, okay, yes. We won't rat you out. No problem. And did I calculate that already? 34 yet. Let me post a link, Zen, for the Discord. Every stream we review, like, stuff from the Discord. That's like, we have a Hall of Fame channel and a Starboard channel. So things that people post that they really like, or that get a lot of recognition from people will get posted there. And it's a nice way to sort through some cool folds to check out. So there's that link. All right, we are almost to the end. We just got a few more books. All right, Tinkering with Folds, Mark Vigo. Mark Vigo's awesome. He was part of the. Sorry, that was the coffee. It's part of the special guest at the Portland Peacock with Origami Always OAS. I forget what the S is. Or Origami Always Success. Origami Always Easy. I forget. But Barcelona, I believe. Jared can probably correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Mark, just like we were just hanging out at a table. He taught me some of his designs. It's super fun. And then I came out with the book. He also taught the chicken at a class. Really cool chicken. You can tell from the crease pattern. It's very simple, but very fun to fold. 26 euros. And I think the title, which is Tinkering with Folds, really describes like Mark's style. It's very fun. It's very, very fun. Okay, Origami Say Collection 2023. I'm just going to guess this is like $20 as well. All right, here we have up and coming star, or now was up and coming, now is just a star, I think, Peter Buchanan Simmons. So I helped with this book. It's a very cool design. Folding a fairy. Peter's fairy is really cool. Very awesome. Thank you for allowing me to help with this project. So there's the other three, or the other two that helped along with this. So Lee Armstrong, I think from the UK, and Sarah Preet, I think from India. Yeah, they were a lot of fun. Peter now has recently, I'm gonna plug Peter. Peter has a new book. Really cool models. You should go check it out on Origami Shop. There's like a really cool dwarf. It's a more complex, like humanoid type stuff. If you have, if you're kind of into that as well. But even this one, volume 1, super cool color change dragon, right? Awesome. All right, and finally, last but not least, did I add? I did add 30. This is Marine Origami, which was featured in one of the OBB competitions recently by Joseph Wong. Very excellent book. This book is a square. Look at that. Yeah, it's a square. It's one of the most beautifully put together books I've seen recently. Joseph has a unique diagram style. Might not be for everyone, but in terms of how it's put together, it's so beautiful. And the fact that the pages are squares, it's just like so satisfying as an origami folder. And Joseph has like a very clean aesthetic with everything. So like this is a book that you can have a lot of fun folding from and like put it on your coffee table to display because it's pretty. And I think like if people come over to your house and like look through the book and see the pretty pictures, right? They don't understand the diagrams, but they can see the pictures. Super cool. Yeah, big heavy square. Yeah, great for a coffee table for sure. And let me see how much this one costs again. This is hardcover for $33. It's got a discount. All right, so I am getting tired from moving all these books off my table. Okay, that is the total value of the books in just the first case. The second case has all of my Satoshi Kamiya books. My Dragon Premium books, aquariums, some more Robert Lang and John Montrell stuff. Yeah, there's more books. There's not as many, but the Origami House books are kind of expensive nowadays. So more value there. I think the if you were to buy them in America or from Nicholas Terry, I think the Satoshi Kamiya books are like $80. So that's like $270 just those 3 books alone. But let's add this to our total and wrap it up for today. So 541 plus 12, 8, 3, 541, 13, 521, 521, 541. What was it? 541? My short-term memory. Oh, goodness. All right. Here we have the totals for today. It might be off a few dollars or two, but my computer fan is freaking out for some reason. That's not a good sign. If the stream randomly goes down, it's because my computer died. But okay, crazy origami case review. That was just one half of it. I hope you all enjoyed and saw how origami can be quite valuable indeed, not just in the folds, but the materials a little bit, and also the books. You know, there's a lot of knowledge stored in those books. I think they're very awesome. They've all been a piece of my origami journey, whether or not I've actually folded from them. I've at least looked for them and been inspired by all of them. So very cool. I'm sure many of you have your own collections of origami books. So I hope you enjoyed seeing mine and also seeing, you know, some of the value that my folds have brought to this display case. So yeah, once again, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, that was like a potential ending to the video. I think there's gonna be part 2 right from the next stream. I don't know if they're gonna be separate videos. But hey, we met our value. We met our $10,000 real value. And honestly, the perceived value was not too much more than the real value. So that's a surprise for me. That's awesome. Okay, let's start now the second part of our content today, our main content. So we have the origami collection review. Let's start that up. Here we go. Real value is if the model So this is for origami models. If the model I've sold it, or what, like the highest I've sold it for, a real sale, or what someone has offered me by decline because it wasn't high enough. So that one's kind of more rare. The more common one is if I've sold it, what was the price I sold it for? That'll be real value. Perceived value, and if I haven't sold it or haven't, been offered, or it's not my design, which I won't sell it, it'll just be material cost. So what did the paper cost me? And generally it's super cheap. Perceived value, on the other hand, is the cost of my state's minimum wage times the time that it took me to fold it. So, if it took 20 hours, then it's 20 times the minimum wage. And that's the perceived value. And that's just like a fun number. But as you can see, our real value and our perceived value are actually pretty close. There's not too much difference. I thought there'd be a much greater difference calculating it like that, because some of these folds take a long time. But so far, it's pretty close. So that's cool. And then the last factor is books. Books are just, I'm looking them up on Origami Shop, or if I can find them, Amazon Origami House, or if I can find them. Most of the time I've purchased them from Origami Shop. So the books might be cheaper now from other sources or directly from Origami House themselves, but I'm just using Origami Shop prices because I think that's at least what I paid. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And let's get to the first item. Yeah, time already in it. Cool. Not a mod on discount. I see. Wait, I can change that. I think. Let me go here. Let me see if it loads the chat. My channel live. Oop, mute that. This is, it doesn't fit. Ancient Dragon version 1 with gold spray paint. Not bad, right? So I actually folded this a while back. This was my first Ancient Dragon fold, but I had been practicing a lot in order to fold and shape it. There's been some wear and tear, so the wings are like totally closed around it now, and it's not in the greatest shape, but I don't think it's bad. It's not terrible. I think I did a decent job on the head and at least the horns. And this paper is craft, not the nice craft, not Alua's craft. This is thick 100 GSM craft. So I definitely used the wrong paper, but because it is 1.2 meters big square, I was able to do it. The real value of the paper is pretty cheap. I'm gonna say it's $1, right? So we're just gonna increase this by $1. Perceived value, that thing took me, the first time, it took me around like 15 hours to fold and shape. So let's calculate that. And that's 198 plus 13.44. Okay, so that's our new numbers. That's a fun one. Now, because it's spray painted, it's actually pretty durable, like in terms of handling it, which you can still kind of see it a little bit, is I did a base coat of black, and then I got a squirt bottle with water and coated this whole thing with water bubbles. And then I sprayed gold spray paint in one direction against those water bubbles. So it creates this like little textured effect throughout the whole thing. And some of them turned out better than others, but you kind of get a shadow of all of the little spray bubbles or droplets. And I thought it'd be cool. And it kind of makes it look aged. So that's why there's like a black tinge here. So it's a cool effect. Honestly, I should do this more often with some other models. I just don't actually spray paint stuff afterwards as much anymore. But I think it's a really cool effect. This is the OBB waifu from the very first OBB competition. So this is the only time I've actually used my design for a competition. And this was the pilot episode, basically. Because now, if you know, I hire other designers and pay out other designers for their diagrams for that competition. So most recent was Bodo's Horse, which is a massively successful competition. But this was the very first one. This was when I was kind of exploring 22.5 humans a bit more. Even the paper, it's like super sus, paintbrush, acrylic, white on black double tissue. But hey, it's a historical part of Origami by Boys. So it's kind of cool. And I made diagrams for it, which if you want those diagrams, you can find them on my website. I think the model itself is decent. It's kind of fun to fold. It's not too crazy. I'm going to add nothing to the real value because that double tissue literally costs nothing. And then perceived value, it's like 2 hours maybe. So we're going to round down plus 26. I could have done that in my head. You're going to learn from this stream that I'm very bad at mental math as I'm adding these. Okay, here we have my design called Ophelia, which this is arguably a better looking human female model than the other one, I think. Especially the dress. I think the dress here looks really nice. I don't know if you can see the hand here. I kind of didn't give enough texture to the hand. But she's holding the dress. I really like this. This is one of my first box pleat human models. The first one you can find way back on my Instagram, and I made it out of printer paper, I think. And then I did one out of double tissue. But I actually did this as a collab for like the cover art origami of music artist. I don't know. It was way back when I was just first starting to get my name out, but named it Ophelia. Just went from it from there. Pretty cool. I think it's decent. It stands on its own. It's very inspired by Tadashi Mori. You can tell the dress is very similar to his angel design on how it kind of fans out. These are some ancient Origami by Boyce designs over here. Okay, so that's also double tissue, so nothing added to real value. That one didn't take very long either. I'm gonna say it took me 3 hours to shape. I'll shape and fold. Okay, so 39 plus 48, 87. Slowly going up. We're increasing the gap in perceived value versus real value. So here we actually have, I just completely destroyed the display stand. We have a bunny girl designed by Obelisk, and diagrams are from his book. So if you're interested, you can find out on Origami Shop. And then we have a plant turtle, and then we have 2 more. Okay, they might not fit on screen, so I'll do them slightly separately, or maybe they do fit. Okay, plant turtle has no value. Unfortunately, this is printer paper with Sharpie, so no real value, and perceived value, it didn't take very long to fold, so I'm not going to include it. But it's really cute, so I want to show it. This is not a turtle. This is one of my favorite penguins. You might also know that I really like Stuck into Folds penguin too. So those 2 penguins are some of my absolute favorites. This one's a little bit different. It's like a penguin chick. Okay, this is another ancient voice design, Akame from Akame ga Kill, the anime. And this is an old model. I don't think it's that good, but you can kind of see how I've developed over the years, right? There's a tie. What other model of mine has a tie? Oh, Head Empty, the award-winning origami design from Origami by Boyce that everyone wants a tutorial for. Yeah, so that's where the original tie kind of concept in a shirt came from me, is from this model. Now this one, the tie is absolutely cursed because I didn't know how to color change things correctly. So it's actually an inverted flap. It definitely doesn't have to be, but this structure is really weird. Also, there's like not enough flaps for the hair because I didn't understand how to pack flaps correctly. So it actually wraps on top. This is from one of my favorite shows, maybe not of all time, but one of my favorite animes. I think the character is great in general. That's why I designed her. Also sword. I was doing a lot of swords back then. Kind of fitting. Maybe I've always wanted to correct some of these designs. I thought it'd be fun. Maybe that'll be another stream. I just go and correct the crease patterns of some of these designs, and then maybe I fold it. But this is like original, like waifu type origami. I'll say this one took like 5 hours. Here we have Housemaid by Obelisk as well. Diagrams also in his book. This is actually a glue stick double tissue that I made for Bodo's paper competition or video competition. So Bodo held a origami video / YouTube competition a few years ago, and I won that competition. And so I actually have something that I'm going to show next that was my prize for winning that competition, but this is what I won it with. Isn't that crazy? You can watch the video I made showing how I did glue stick double tissue back in the day, and honestly you can tell the color separation is pretty decent compared to this one, right? So this is normally what you get if you just do black on white, and then this was glue stick. Do I recommend using this technique? Absolutely not. There's a lot better techniques. Like even just using spray adhesive is probably better. But yeah, this is the glue stick double tissue. It's still holding up today, right? I don't think the fold is actually that great. I kind of made everything too thin and then didn't do any contouring to the body. And then the really bad knees, right? But hey, glue stick double tissue, you know? This one is the bunny girl. I think I already mentioned it. This is actually a Unryu with 2 layers, I think, of tissue. It's some type of triple paper, just to get the color change a bit better. There's still better techniques than doing triple here. This is like way too thick for this model, but it's kind of cool. This was one of the first like diagrammed waifus that was out there in a book, I think, like a complex one at least. Interesting, huh? Okay, so I'm just gonna abstract. This took probably around 4 hours, so like 4 hours, 4 hours, and then 5 hours. So a total of 13 hours. Yeah, we'll just say that. I have no idea how I displayed this one. All right, we're just gonna say it's like that. All right, for real value, I'll from all of them we skipped a bit. I'm just gonna add $1 for all of them. Perceived value, we're gonna calculate that. So the perceived value more so is like, how much time am I spending folding origami? Royalties, that's a lot of time. Oh, this is one of my prized origami possessions. This is, yes, spots are natural color change, stripes on tail natural color change. The Bodo signature is Sharpie, not color change, but yeah, the Jaguar. So I won a Bodo Jaguar, and this thing is so cool. So yeah, I've had this. It also stands on its own. Actually insane. So yeah, I first received this and I just couldn't stop staring at it and just noticing the craftsmanship that Bodo had. And this is like Bodo 5 years ago, right? So his craftsmanship's improved even more. You might have seen I featured him a lot in last year's origami convention because I got him out there as a special guest. But even back then, this was like crazy color change Bodo, right? It's actually insane to be on the 3 limbs as well in the stand. Like it's a dynamic pose. Actually crazy. I just looking at how he shaped things very carefully. The craftsmanship blew my mind. This was nuts. It's cool. Like this small little ridge for the shoulder bones. Like, come on. It's so cool, right? Like this is, oh my goodness. So yeah, perceived value, priceless, right? Priceless. I can't assign a value to this. I'm not going to add any value. It's Bodo's model, and I didn't purchase this one. So last stream, I showed models I'd purchased from other people. This one I won. I won this for free, right? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll add the value of YouTube revenue from that video, which is not going to be a lot. But let me find out really quick, and then that'll be our price, because that's technically how much value that is. And that's a real value too. So that's what I'll sign it. But now, honestly, like this, people could offer me so much money and I would never sell it. This video made $26. All right, so we're gonna add 20. Okay, $26.75. I'll round up for this one. Say round down for everything else. 27 plus. Not bad for over. How long ago was this? This was published in 2020. Really, 2020? That was all right. 4 years. $26. We're cooking. Oh man, yeah, that's the life of some YouTube videos. It'd be like that. Absolutely insane. Yeah, so true. All right, enough of this awesome Jaguar. Isn't that crazy? If you do sell it for $2 billion. Okay, $2 billion. I would sell it because then I can raise economy for origami, or like solve world hunger or something like that. I don't know. Where's Peacock going to be? I think it's Sacramento. Samurai V3. Boom. This is the first Samurai V3. And man, I folded a lot of these samurais. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So now I showed a square twist samurai last time, which is a variation of the V4. I've sold the square twist. That one was a lot more than what I sold this guy for. This one, actually, let's have y'all guess in the chat. What do you think this one sold for? Keep in mind, it's not as much as the other samurais. Let's have a quick guess. How much do you think this sold for? Yeah, this has sold for a range. So I'll tell you a little bit of the story after I reveal what the last one sold for, basically. There's a few of these floating out there, including, if y'all are familiar with offline TV, there was one as decoration in their podcast studio for a while, because I mailed one to Skara. I didn't sell it to them. It was just like a opportunity to get out there, and I guess they liked enough that they used it as a stream decoration for like 3 years. I don't know if it's still there. It probably isn't, but hey, kind of cool, right? This is the first one, so it wasn't as good of a head. If you've seen the recent V4 and the square twist, it's a lot better. This is the first DLC shaping one, so this is when I was first trying faces. Not very good compared to what you've seen me do recently, right? But this is where the start was. This was the start. This I sold V3 for $500. So Mark was really, really close there with $450. Mark was the closest. Models, and try to find what value I could actually sell them for. 873 plus 500. Well, let me actually just do 10. That's our updated amounts. Big boost in the ratio of real value. This is the first samurai V1. The V1. The first fold of the V1. Crazy. I've held on to this because I made sure to. And look, it has no face. I didn't know how to do a face under the hat because I didn't understand packing or rivers or circles or box pleat or anything. This was purely done from test folding individual parts and then trying to make it work. And you can tell it's also spray painted. I think it's a dark gray. The paper actually is originally green. Maybe we can, yeah, there you go. It's a green piece of butcher paper. Free paper. So no real value. I got it from my school. It's like the stuff they hang up to like write stuff on, that teachers like use, or like the covered tables. Free paper, 1 meter big. Very first samurai ever. Crazy. Crimson red spray paint. That spray paint's more expensive than the paper probably. Yeah, insane. And this is the one I made the video on. Maybe it's my 5th YouTube video. Actually insane. This is Origami by Boys history right here. So not adding anything for real value, because yeah, free paper. You know, the paper was high school. I did Ancient Dragon in college. So this definitely predates Ancient Dragon by far. Tower Guard. You might have seen this short, but it is made from craft paper. Once again, this is packaging craft paper. So I received this paper because it was wrapping other things. And I think it was actually wrapping other paper. So it was like the free stuff they used to package the paper, but it was big. And this is actually thinner, or I think it's the same thickness as like printer paper, but it's like a little bit more durable. Pretty cool, right? Like it's not the greatest thing in the world by any means, but I mean, I folded a dude holding a spear with it, and he's got a cape. He's got shoulder armor. He's got leg armor. That's actually kind of weird, but kind of cool because it's 3D, and he stands on his own. So yeah, if you can really like maximize, like again, okay. Now, obviously, the real value of this one is 0 because it's free. Proceed value. This one took me a little bit of time. I'll say this was an 8-hour project. I'll do 104. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll add to the real value as like, how much did the video make? I don't think that video made any money. So let me check. Maybe I won't do this, but for some of them, maybe. I technically did that. Let's see. Free origami paper. Where is this? Okay, this was 2022. This has made $1.81. Oh, lovely. Okay. We're going to call that $2. So I don't know why I did that on my calculator. $3.75. Amazing, right? Okay, so now think about it though. I got this for free. It's made me $2. Infinite percent ROI. You know what I'm saying? You divide by 0, you get it. You can't, but it's like approaches infinity. So like, yeah, I'm just kidding. This used to be one of my favorite models, just because I thought the concept was cool and I was competing. So we took a look at the Origami Death Battle, right? I think it was like the very first Origami Death Battle is when I folded this for the second round. It's called Invention of the Crane, and it was supposed to represent a historical time. Now, I think it's more fitting that this is like Sadaka. She was the Japanese girl who was folding paper cranes for peace during war times. I think it's like arguably that this could be fitting. It's a girl folding a crane, right? And it's naturally color changed too. So that's pretty cool. Actually, I've sold this one. I totally forgot. I've sold this model. I was like, where's the original one? This is the refold. And I think the original one is actually better than the refold. So the refold, I tried to do a face profile and it just didn't work too well. It's not too bad or anything, but the first one looked really nice, just being clean. Anyone want to guess how much this was? But this is cool. Like, this is how the color change works. Really inefficient design, but it's cool, right? It's cool. Arguably, it's cool. Arguably cool. And it doesn't really stand on its own. It doesn't have to stand, but it stands on its own. Now, I didn't sell this for too much. So this is like between when I started folding or selling the Samurais version 3s. So it's like in that period. Like at the time, that was the most I'd sold anything for. It was this. I sold a Samurai and this to, I think, the same person for $250. Yeah, cool model, right? All right, well, technically it's from the Dragon first. So, okay, I'm going to show like the sequence of the 3 that started those, and then it became a series. So I'm a big fan of those series of Monster Hunters and Skyrim, the game. Skyrim, there's a dragon plate armor in the game. It's the heavy path. It's like the last one. So this was the Dragon Slayer, and it's a guy and then a dragon head. And originally it was supposed to be like, oh, he slayed this dragon. The dragon head was supposed to be on the floor, like a severed dragon head. But it's kind of more like, oh, the spirit of a dragon slayer, because the connection is just in his back sticking out. And again, this, I still didn't understand correctly how to do box plate design or how to pack a 2-in-1 concept like this. And this is level shifted too. So like, I just didn't know. I just wanted to combine them together somehow. But this is the result of that. Oh, here's the dragon, which some people are folding the new dragon, 2-headed dragon, which structurally is a lot better than this one. This one has so much wasted space and the legs are terrible. But it looks cool still. It's got some spines in the back. The new one has spines in the back too. But this head is pretty neat. Big teeth, horns, kind of sus eyes, but a lot of it's the same in the new one just because it looks kind of cool. It's just a lot more efficient. This is the Dragon Knight, which then the dragon plate armor was thus inspired by. In the most recent one, the dragon plate sword and shield has a similar helmet as this guy. It's a little different. It was inspired by trying to rework this helmet into a new design. This helmet is so inefficient. I think it's like 20 grid units vertically and 16 horizontally. It's really bad, trust me. But I made it look cool somehow. There's a tutorial if you want to fold this guy. I think it's still cool. It's not a great design, but it's a cool design. You know what I mean? It's got like a dragon head kind of as a chest plate. I also made shorts for them. I'm pretty sure the videos made zero money. Actually, no, just kidding. The tutorials, do we add the tutorials in real value? What do y'all think? So let me calculate. These two have tutorials. We'll use the tutorial as the value. Let me do this guy. So this guy took me like 15 hours to fold. So I'll put that in for perceived value, 198. And then the cost of this paper is, what is this? Wenjo. It's like $3 a sheet. Okay, so that's for this guy. And the old 2-headed dragon is in the OBB website. Okay, cool. I think both are cool, but the new one seems a little bit better. I'm glad people still like the old one though, and that they like the new one too. I think both of them are pretty cool. 2-headed dragon, right? You saw their opponent faded into the bushes. Yeah, that it kind of was like that. Okay, cool. So Dragon Knight, $40. Look at that, or $39. Not bad at all. Can't complain. And then the 2-headed dragon, that's a newer tutorial, and I did this one in 2 videos. Is that right? No, 3 videos. The first one cooked a little bit. Okay. And then part 3. Oh, they also had a short that popped up. I'll include the short too. The short's not actually going to include that much, but it did get a lot of views. So there's that short where I like twisted him, right? Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. It is. Oh, do I count the Dragons Explained one too? No, I'll just include this one. It's got 300,000 views. All right, so here's some context, guys, if you want to know how much YouTube pays. This YouTube short got 300,000 views. The revenue was $15. Yeah, so not a lot for shorts. But in total, the two-headed dragon has made $71. Not bad. Not bad at all. $71. There we go. This is my anglerfish. And it's made with Arches watercolor paper. And Arches is white. As the natural color change for, I gold leafed the lantern. This is fun. I really like this design. Not everyone thinks it looks like an anglerfish, but I don't care. I like it. Diagrams have been made. They'll come out sometime with the Origami Dan book. Stay tuned for those. I know it's been like 4 years, but that book is happening sometime and the diagrams will be released there. But this is a cool design. This is probably one of my better 22.5 designs I've done. I think it just looks aesthetic and it's like really 3D. And then this one is like rock solid because it's wet folded. So I think it's pretty cool. Material cost was $8. This Arches watercolor is not cheap. Actually, let me just include that for the perceived as well, because I think just keep it easy. When did I fold this? I folded this. Here we have two cool models. This one is kind of special. This is the pirate. Oh, maybe that's what we vote for in the 20,000 subscriber milestone that people wanted a tutorial for, because people wanted a tutorial for this pirate for a while, and I didn't make one. One, because there's actually a big mistake in this design. The fact that there's no neck and that the arms are in the wrong spot. So this is actually easily fixed. I just need to like tweak the crease pattern a little bit to make sure it works. But this helped win me the silver medal at IO 2021, I think. That's the International Origami Olympiad. So it was at the time the most prestigious, and probably still at this time, the most prestigious origami competition. And this was for my own design battle. He's got a flintlock. He's got another one at his waist. The back is technically closed. He's got a cool hat, a tri-bill hat, you know, luscious hair, thick beard, cool apparel and rag belt thing, and a peg leg. What more could you want from a pirate, right? Maybe a hook hand. I was trying, but I couldn't get the fit. But a very cool design, right? So maybe we'll set this one up as the tutorial, and if I do make a tutorial for it, I'll redesign it to fix the problems it has, and that'd be super neat. And this is like a cowboy. He's actually more like a space cowboy. I was originally trying to make a character from Warframe, which is a mech, and I couldn't quite get it to look like that. So I started with the hat, and that's how that hat works. But it turned into, it also has the no neck issue, as well as the arms in the wrong spot issue. But what's cool is it has hair and some guns, right? That's cool. That's cool. Boom. Pretty neat. And then like the legs have like these real flowy, like cowboy, you know, these are some types of thing that's supposed to help with horse riding. I think this type of pants, I forget what it's called, but, and then because it was a space cowboy, it also has a great sword on the back for no reason, right? Well, no, it's a space cowboy. There's definitely a reason to use a giant sword in space. Pretty cool. Very random, but kind of cool. Here's the crease pattern. It's kind of cursed. It's technically based on a 32 grid, but at the same time not. I was like really playing around with level shifters for some reason. I don't know. When I look back at this design, I'm like, why did I do it this way? Okay, so these two probably took much longer. This pirate, let's say both of them took 20 hours, 40 hours total. And then the paper was Wenjo, so that's $10. Proceed value is this. And then real value is just plus 10, like that. Chaps. Yeah, okay, that's what the pants are called. Thank you. Okay, so that's it for the Origami models collection. I think we added a fair bit. Decent chunk. Not as crazy as the first case. That first case is crazy. To the grandfather of complex origami, the master Akira Yoshizawa-sama, Japan's greatest origami master. Absolutely, probably the most important person for origami as we know it. This is the book put together of some of his works, the foreword from Robert Lang, and tributes. This is a Tuttle book. So maybe the value is printed in the book. Maybe not. Time to Google. Okay, so I actually have Origami Shop open. I don't know if this book is sold there because it's a Tuttle book. But let's see. 40 euros. We're gonna say that's 40 US dollars. Oh no, that's not the same book. Never mind. Let's put it separately. It might be on Amazon now. $20 on Amazon. Okay. What's up, Shangnara? You're back from lunch. How was your lunch? We're on books now. We're going over books. I'm gonna try to do this pretty quickly, but all right. That's one. Next one. Oh, some other classics. Okay, we got Advanced Origami by Michael LaFosse. This is how I learned about treating paper and also about origami dough. And there's also some diagrams in this book, but a lot of it was the techniques and paper preparation. And that's what got me to first trying to wet fold and to make my own double tissue. So this is a very pivotal book in my personal journey. Let's see how much this is on Origami Shop. It's another Tuttle book, so it might not be on there. And then this next one is actually another classic, Peter Engel, Origami Odyssey. If you haven't heard of Peter Engel stuff, also like very important person in origami, very cool designer. Sorry, I just destroyed my microphone with the book or slammed it. I actually don't know how much this is. It's like $10 average. I don't think they're all part of the same series, but they're all Terry books. Here's Origami Moments. This is by Meng Wei Nin. Really cool designer. This book, so cool. Like I folded panda, really cool panda. There's some really neat designs. I folded the cat. The cat is so cute, Persian cat. This one of the books where I folded actually a fair bit out of. A lot of times I have books I don't always fold out of them. I just read them, and then if I have time, I'll try them. I need to still do that Mosasaurus. That's super cool. And then the wolf in this book is really good. The deer's really cool. The little witch is cute. The rooster's really cool. And then, yeah, look at that wolf. Really nice. Really, really nice. Really cool book. This will definitely be on Origami Shop. $18. It's on sale. Okay, it's 20 euros. We're just going to say it's 20 US dollars. Because on sale, that's about how much it costs. 20. Next up, we have Fold with the Flow. Another book that's super, super fun. This one is by Oriol Esteve. Oriol has a pretty unique style. It's a lot of things have been designed in a bar while folding. And yeah, if you've ever taken a class by Oriol or just seen videos of him, it's very fun origami. So he doesn't really care if anything's precise or whatnot. It's like you're folding, you're having a good time, and you can kind of see his creativity through that, right? It's not some type of thing where he's going for, the most efficient design ever or anything like that, or using front of the edge 22.5 designs or anything like that. But there's a certain style that comes out of just going with the flow, which is literally the title of the book. And I really like that because I think having fun in origami is the most important part of it. Okay, I definitely purchased this for more than it is now, but it's only 10 euros. So that's the value. Very nice. So if you want this book, actually, it's cheap right now. It's only 10 euros. All right, here is the book that the housemaid and the bunny girl are from. And Obelisk, oh my goodness. I was such a big Obelisk fan back in the day, and I still am. So Obelisk is the designer who really got me into folding human origami. And this book is crazy. So like I fold the housemaid. There's a Nazgul, really cool origami design. I folded a lot of Obelisk models actually. And nowadays I like chat with Obelisk from time to time. So very cool, very cool. Shout out Obelisk, very based origami designer. And like, man, this is with like the origami paper from China, and I've used it and it's very, very weak, but somehow Obelisk has found a mastery of using that paper and can do stuff like that, which is like insane. Like my double tissue one, it's technically better paper, but I was like nowhere close to getting it as good looking as this. It's crazy. It's just like Obelisk just is better at folding his designs than anyone else's. There's like, I forget how Nicholas categorizes them, but there's certain, like this is volume 4 of, I think, the Amazing Origami series. And I think the Meng Wei Nin one is part of that. The Fold and the Flow is volume 8. So like there's a whole like Amazing Origami or something like that series. I can't remember. This one is One Water, One World. I am a big fan of marine origami. As you can tell, my first design was a fish. I made an anglerfish. There's an anglerfish. Oh, that's a fang tooth. I think there's an anglerfish in this book. But one of my first origami books was Origami Sea Lives, the 1998 print edition. And there's the Black Devil anglerfish in that book. That was super cool. Here we have a really cool turtle. This is by Meng Weinin. Yeah, really cool. All these are really fun. I folded the fang tooth. It's actually not as hard as it looks, but it's really cool. Really sick. Actually, it's the turtle Meng Weinin. I might have gotten that wrong, but it's folded or designed by a lot of people from SAOC. Shout out SAOC. Really talented designers and diagrammers. Super cool book. It's 20 euros. And I've only recently shown the books I've given away. This is the Vogue 2 book in hardcover. Original print. Okay, Vogue 2. Really cool book. This shark was like one of the most insane sharks I had seen at the time. Probably was at the time. And then also, there's some cool human origami in there. The Emperor. If you go back in my Instagram, you can find my fold of that. I really wanted to fold that. And that was like one of the first box plate humans I'd done. Awesome book. And this one is Nature Study, Shuki Kato book. You all probably know about it. I've probably purchased this book like 5 times as giveaway books for people. Legendary book by Shuki Kato. Probably one of the most complex books still to this day because there's tilted grid. Genuinely insane to diagram that. 20 euros. Shuki is amazing. Built different and ahead of his time by far, using ERM techniques and tilted grid techniques before we even really classified them as such. Yeah, crazy. What can I say? Teotadon books. These were like the pinnacle books to collect. Really beautiful collections of some complex diagrams and like a lot. You could get a huge variety of anything in these books. Like here we have Satoshi Kamiya, Praying Mantis. Here we have Jason Koo, Bicycle, diagrammed. I remember hearing a story about how excited Jason was that he actually diagrammed this crazy bicycle. Absolutely nuts. Shout out Jason Koo. We have more Satoshi Kamiya. Actually, I saw Satoshi on these books. Fiddler Crab. On 121. All right. That'd be super, super cool. So I have 4 Origami USA convention books as well. These are... I'm not really going to review them, but we'll just say they're $20 each. So 80. All right. Okay, now these ones. These are some cool books. This one is Arisawa Yuga. Very talented folder from Japan. Awesome dragon. There's some really interesting models in this book too. We've got a shoe bill. We reviewed one of those before. Shoe bill are awesome. Got some bugs. We got a dragonfly. A jet airliner. Like, that's unique, right? I think there's a trade in here as well. Really cool. Really cool. 1,800 yen. That's like $12. At least back in the day it was. I'm just gonna say it's 12. Do you know how to read Japanese? This is The Graceful Origami by Makoto Yamaguchi. I think the price is also somewhere. There is a cover for this, but I took it off, I guess. That doesn't say. Okay, this should be on Origami Shop though. Probably for more than what it was originally sold for. Maybe not. It's a little older now. No, okay, it still has value. $40. All right, we're almost there. Okay, this is New Generation of Origami. Also very cool. I folded the Strachosaurus out of Kami. That's during my Kami Kamiya challenge. Kamiya challenge. Have you seen that? And then also there's a really cute Katsuda Pomeranian on this book. This is a really cool one. New Generation of Origami. And 2,100 yen, which I definitely paid more than that. But $13 US. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid like 30 for that. And Prestige was around 13 last time, so about $3,000. And that wraps up this portion. So this is my other spot, other part of the collection, Origami shelves. Next week or next time for part 3, we're going to come back to the second cabinet and we'll have a final tally as well as a little prize related to that. But I'm going to announce that later. Thank you everyone for joining in with that main content of today. Hello. All right. Are we good? I think we're back. It also like moved all of my things. I think we're okay. All right. I think we're good. Sorry about that, everyone. I think we're back. Yes, better. Okay. Cool. Better is good. Better is very good. All right, and y'all can see the Instagram window now. All right, I think we're back. I think the first part of the stream is completely lost. I see it at least on YouTube, so it's like it's there, but it's gonna be saved as 2 different parts, which is kind of okay. I know there's something I can do that like next time it won't stop the stream. That's something to figure out later, I guess. But even on this one, I think the title name or the stream name is messed up still too. So let me look at my studio really quick. Probably also turned off the monetization. And then it's live now. Final origami review. Okay, it is the right name this time. Wow, how weird. Okay, maybe yeah. I think we're good now. We'll continue a little bit and we'll be good. All right. Sorry everyone. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking how cool this Pegasus is. Okay, so this is the other photo. It's just a nice another angle to show that it continues to detail on the other side. But yes, Mark, very talented designer. I think, at least for now, the last design I wanted to showcase that I haven't shown on stream yet is this Griffin. And I might have featured it maybe in like a Starboard review or Hall of Fame review. But if not, just look how pretty this is. And this is kind of a combination of patterns we see from the Samurai and that we saw in the Pegasus there. So, right, we got scales and we got feathers and wings. So both a more rigid and, you know, textured pattern with the scales, really sharp looking scales, right? And then the softness of the feathers at the ends of the wings. And like this kind of structure is very unique to Mark, right? You don't always see feathers and scales combined into one. Sometimes you see scales as feathers, or you just see pleats as feathers, or just models with scales. But in this case, we have like a transition from scales into pleats of feathers, like all in one area. And I think that's super cool. Hopefully Mark's back and can see that we are reacting to see how cool his folds are. But yeah, once again, go check out Mark. Shout out to Mark a lot for giving us these crease patterns, you know, for us to use as a prize. But let's now move on into the main part of today's content. So let me put that on a pause. Color change is next level. It's good stuff. All right, so we're going to switch over to here. I believe I have this. We can put that up and we will move the stream schedule down below for a little bit. Mark is back. All right, Mac. What's up, Mark? I think I'm also back. So we're doing good. All right. So we just wrapped up looking at your Pegasus and your Griffin, actually. And we are on to the origami collection review part that this stream is here for. And it is 8:55. I hope everyone submitted their guesses for the giveaway. You have basically like 30 more seconds to do that. And if not, I have the name of the last person to submit. So go do that really quick as I start. But so last time we ended at a value of $12,266. That was from just this first case, and then a bit more from my Studio B. I think, you know, it was around like a $2,000 over from there, on top of the crazy amount from the first case. And then we have our proceed value over as 16,000. Just to review, if you weren't here at one of the previous streams, real value is calculated by how much I have sold that model for in the past or what was offered to me. And if I haven't sold that model, it's going to be purely material cost. And then perceived value will be how long did that model take me to fold times the minimum wage of where I live. So that's kind of a more for fun number, but it's actually not too different than the real value. So that was a surprise in those past 2 streams, but I'm keeping track of both. Just we're going to see what the difference ends up being. It may not be too much. We shall see. Now, for the giveaway, we're only using the real value as the measurement. You're making guesses based off of the real value, and that's what it's going to be. So that number is what you want to pay attention to as we get closer to the end of the stream. Wonder what it's going to be. Thanks for the short review. Good luck, everyone. Yes, good luck, everyone. Shout out, Mark. I think I will never stop shout outing Mark. Mark is just an awesome member of the community and very skilled designer. First part won't play for me. All right, I think it's processing Dex, but we shall see. Hopefully it's not lost. I'll try to recover it if it is. Very sad. Oh, Spot, thank you. You are totally correct. Don't forget to like this new stream. Helps me out, guys. It helps me out. I know I forget to say it a lot. I think most other streamers will probably be saying that a lot, but thank you. That's a good reminder. Sold Monk 6303 says, I was folding Samurai version 3 in the tutorial, and I'm using a different crease pattern on the website. Is there a different crease pattern? So the crease pattern is like 90% the same or 95% the same. When you fold, the tutorial won't change. So just fold the tutorial. If you made some extra pre-creases from the new crease pattern, like don't worry about it at all. It's going to fold like the old one from the crease pattern. It's just the new one is technically more correct to what the folds actually are that I do in the tutorial. So there's just like some things I fixed, as well as making it technically flat foldable, but yeah, but pre-creasing wise, you're going to be fine. But good question. What's up, Daniel? Thanks for hopping in. Oh, Preston, what's up? Boys, popping on my For You page. Yo, thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in a little bit. We're about to check out some cool origami and see how much it's worth in dollars. So that's kind of fun. Peter, cannot find where to do this. Community tab on YouTube. So I'll give a little bit more time, Peter, if you want to join. If you go to, whether you're on phone or on a computer, it should be relatively the same. Right, here's my phone. I'm on my channel. You just go to this community tab and you'll see this post, which is the giveaway post, and you want to comment on it. Looks like we got 52, or I think I might have responded to one. It's like around 50 guesses. So that's pretty sweet. Done. Community tab on my, yes, that's right. Okay, cool. So counting you in, Peter, you are safe. Let's go take a look at, so we're going to start off with this guy, because I think he's really, really cool. This is the one-headed dragon. And why is it named one-headed dragon instead of just dragon? And that's because he was actually designed after the two-headed dragon, which the tutorial is on my page. And I'm pretty sure all of you are familiar with what that is. But in case you aren't, there's a tutorial for basically this dragon, but with a second head. But yeah, very cool design. Now, this guy still have our value here. I've not sold one of these. Material cost, this is folded from, what is this? I believe this is a Wenjo. So I think I had that as like $4 a sheet. And it's not real Wenjo. This is like a fake Wenjo. So adding to the real value, just $4. But perceived value, I'm going to calculate about how long it took me. I want to say it took me around 12 hours to fold. That brings us to $156 for perceived value, which gives us, boom. Okay, so there we have our first dragon. Let's grab our second one. We're gonna grab the second and third, so don't spend too much time. This is the three-headed dragon. Whoa, right? So again, essentially the same as the one-headed one, but with two additional heads. And I think I have an old version of the two. It's somewhere. The one from the tutorial, though, is no longer in my hands, but is in very good hands. Now, you can already tell there is some structural difference in the three-headed dragon. The legs are more similar to the two-headed one from the tutorial, and this has the same deal as the one-headed dragon. If you fold the two-headed dragon from the tutorial, you get both crease patterns. Hey, so there you go. Yo, Rice Asians, thanks for the follow. But most of those extra hours compared to the one-head one just is pure, head collapse and head shaping. So we're going to add that to our value here, to our perceived value, because I haven't sold one of these. So this new total is this. And then our real value, again, this is made from the same paper, and it is only a $4 sheet of paper. Now, I did also plan these. So this is the same grid as the two-headed dragon. I used the exact same size of paper. The one-headed dragon, that's actually a 40 grid, not a 48 grid. And so I changed the size of the paper so that the dragon sizes, like when folded, actually line up. And that is this one. And I'm actually going to grab, let me grab the other part of it. So I actually brought this back from Studio B. I brought two things back. I brought the sword and I brought the Bodo Jaguar. So this has been at Studio B for years, and I wanted it at Studio A so I can look at it more. We reviewed this last stream, so you can check that out. But basically, it is a signed fold from Boda that I earned. This is the Sword and Shield design, version 2, 24 grid. This is also what I'm teaching at the Origami convention coming up. And the reason I'm showing this is because it's actually also here on the dragon design, connected. Yo, look at that. Look, it's like a mini one. That's part of the dragon. That's right. So this is one square sheet of paper still. It has the connection, right? So it's a dragon and the sword and shield dude. The actual design itself, it's so cursed how this actually like works. It's not very efficient. It's more of a, I knew I could do it, so I did it. But should I have done it? Probably not. Oh, what's up, Brian? Hello. Thanks for joining the stream. But yeah, so, you know, sometimes I get into moods where I have an idea of, yeah, I can do this. Again, I probably shouldn't. It would look nicer, right, if I just had this guy and a dragon as 2 models. But it's kind of fun to do something a little crazy sometimes and, you know, make it 1. Imagine Bodo signing things by adding color changes on the models. That would be crazy. That's got to be his next type of thing. That's cool. Yes, this dragon also has belly pleats for no particular reason, right? No one's ever going to see it because it's shown like this and the guy's blocking it. But hey, it does just for fun, right? No, I kind of, this was a model for, I think, the death battle competition, or maybe it was a shaping. No, I think it was an origami death battle. Which was actually how the original 2-headed dragon idea was brought into existence. So I was on a time crunch here. You might be thinking, boys, this tail looks awfully too thin, and same with the neck. Yeah, I didn't have time to actually shape proper necks or body, but it works, you know what I mean? It works from this angle, and it's pretty cool how this guy is connected. I believe there should be some type of live stream from last year of me designing this and maybe folding it. So if you want to see how this was designed, or if you don't believe that it's one sheet of paper, you can go check that out. This guy took me around like 12 hours, actually. It took longer to design than it did to fold. It's also made from the same paper. That keeps this easy. And let's do a quick calculation for the proceed value. This. All right. We're slowly climbing. There is going to be a point where it is a big jump, but these ones are cool. We're going to show all the drag. We have a dragon that's not my design. This is by Satoshi Kamiya. This is the Ancient Dragon 2.0. I showed the 1.0 last stream. This one is the version 2 from Dragon's Premium. A very, very cool dragon. I think it actually looks best from this angle because this is the angle I paid attention to most while I was shaping it, is the front-on view with how fierce the face can be. I personally think I did a not so good job from the side profile, but I think I did a good job from the front profile. So, you know, maybe I should have paid a little bit more attention to the side profile, but still pretty cool, right? Now, I also happened to add belly pleats here, and I did some weird stuff here. I think I did too much here. It might look better with less. This you can do on the first one, actually. And it's even mentioned in the book that it's possible using the same pleat technique that is done for the Divine Boar with the class, and the room holds 20. We'll have to see. I have no idea, but hopefully it'll go well. Dex says, I like how my swordsman is similar to your sword and shield, just slightly reduced grid and sloped ridges. True. Okay, well, I'll explain both, Winston. Real value is if I have sold the model or got it offered, then it is what that price is. Or I have purchased some models from other people. So what did I purchase it from? That's real value. If I haven't sold it, or if it's like for this, this is not my design, then real value is just material cost. So in this case, this is really cheap double tissue, literally free. I got this double tissue from the packaging of like one of my mom's clothing things she ordered online. I always take the tissue paper because you never have too many tissue paper, right? And that's what this white tissue is. It's like a bunch made into a large sheet. Free, completely free. So in this case, there's 0 real value. Perceived value, however, will just be minimum wage of where I live, calculated by the time I spent to fold it. So in this case, this Ancient Dragon 2.0 took me around like, I want to say 10 hours. It probably took a little longer than that, honestly, but I can't remember. So I'm going to lowball it. and just say 10 hours. And in that case, we get a new proceed value of this. And it's just a for fun number originally, because I thought my real value was, I actually thought the real value was going to be somewhere around like 5 to 10 grand, but we've exceeded that already by a lot from just the first case over there. It's also counting books in the shelf. So yeah, there's a lot in the real value. But perceived value, yeah, it's kind of cool now to see that the perceived value isn't too far away, right? Right now, there's only like a 30% increase, and that's just because I have so many origami models I folded. All right, we got another dragon, one more winged dragon that's not my design, and this is the Tadashi Mori Darkness Dragon 3.2, I think. It's either 3.0 or 3.2, but I folded this from the crease pattern actually, and there's a small story behind this. So you may now be familiar that I did a collaboration with Tadashi Mori, and that's how the Phoenix was made, which we're going to check out that Phoenix soon. But before that, Tadashi had recently returned to YouTube, and I, being a really big fan of Tadashi Mori, wanted to get his attention and kind of stand out, right? Like I learned off YouTube from Tadashi Mori, did some extra shaping to try to make it look nice, and then mentioned it in his stream. I think he saw it, I probably tagged him or something like that. And then later on asked if I could show a video of how I did some custom shaping on this, since there was only a crease pattern. And so if you're interested in that video, I think that's actually a pretty good video. If you're wanting to learn some more thought processes on shaping. Yeah, I know, I was starstruck with Tadashi Mori, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is a really cool dragon. It's really went as nice as it could on some of the roundness of shaping. Just a fun story behind it. So it didn't take too long. This paper is unryu, so this is actually like a $5 paper. I'm gonna bump this to 83, and then proceed value, this only took around like 10 hours to make as well. So we can do this mental math. Sometimes I'm good at mental math, sometimes I'm really bad, but I got this one. Yeah, little fun story behind that. When you fold one of these, you have to flex it. It just takes so long, so much energy to fold that yeah, I'm going to show this guy as much as I possibly can. Last dragon in that collection is none other than the Ryujin 3.5. And I've got this guy as well to show. This is the Chernojin, which was put together by Bodo. Basically, he spliced parts of the crease pattern of the Ryujin into a smaller two-legged form. Hilarious, right? And I'm actually Bodo released the crease pattern kind of as a joke, but I wanted to fold it so badly. I thought it was so hilarious. So I actually folded it before Bodo did, I think. I think Bodo didn't fold it for a long time, actually. But I made sure I was the first one to make this. And it's really goofy looking. It's like a scaled chicken with a really weird head. But you can see that what it resembles, the real model. And now it serves as a good practice tool if you were trying to fold the real one, because you get experience doing the legs, which is one of the harder parts, the tail and the head, which are also very unique parts of the model. All right, so we got the tail, got the head. You get a little bit of scale practice too. But yeah, this Ryujin, once again, I'm not selling any of these. These are not my design. So we're going to talk material cost. And the material cost of this guy, it's the same tissue paper as the ancient dragon I showed earlier, which I, extracted from packaging from stuff my family had purchased online, meaning that for me, it was completely free. So the real value here is 0. It is single tissue, actually. The ancient dragon is double tissue. This one's single tissue, and they're actually about the same size paper. So this was a 90 centimeter single tissue. And to get a tissue that big, I basically, glued the edges together to make a bigger square of much smaller sheets of single tissue. So yeah, very janky way to make paper. I don't recommend it. I personally did it to make it harder on myself, to prove to myself that I could fold this easily. Like basically that my folding abilities could outweigh all the disadvantages I had given myself and make something really cool, which turns out it worked out. It was like how I thought. So, when people ask me if they're trying to fold Ryujins and stuff, I really recommend practice everything to the point that it's this easy and you'll have a really good experience folding Ryujin. If you go into it a little under leveled, basically, you're not going to have a great time folding it, and you might end up wasting too many hours, because this guy took really long time. It took me around 90 hours to fold, between 80 and 90 hours. I have probably more even. I'm just going to say 90 hours because that's what I remember from the back in the day. Yeah, crazy. And a lot of that was just shaping the scales. Like, they're individually pulled out. Not the most fun, but really cool and very rewarding at the end. So I'm going to calculate that. That actually makes this perceived value at $1,170. That's just 16 or 13 times 9. Okay, 18,111. Okay, and then this guy, this is double tissue. This paper is actually worth more than the other one because I actually bought this tissue paper with money versus getting it for free. So real value, we're gonna add $1 for the double tissue, and then perceived value, we're gonna do. I probably didn't have to do that on the calculator, but I'm learning about nutrition and plants in school. Oh, I think that's pretty cool. I think you might think it's boring now, but later on, if you're, trying to work out and get healthy, like nutrition and stuff about plants is really fascinating. These dragons are cool, right? I think I calculated the values. We'll get them out of here. I know I love just having it on the stream. And these are going to increase the value a lot of the real value. We can see here, we have Samurai version 3. Does anyone remember in chat how much these were? Because I have sold these before. Do you remember from the first stream what the value of these were? Let's see if anyone can guess. Remember, this is not the square twist samurai. We're going to guess that in a little bit. This is version 3. This guy was $500 was the most I sold. So basically the very last, might have been like 1 or 2 of the Samurai V3 before I stopped making the V3 was 500. And this was with the DLC shaping as well. So 500. This actually was, I think this is the fold I used in the tutorial. I think I used the blue paper maybe. Or I'm not sure why I folded this. It might have been in a shaping tutorial. Can't remember. If not, then I don't know why I folded in blue, but there's a blue one. Most of them are red. But yeah, real value, let's go to 781, and then perceived value bumped up like that. So yeah, some of y'all were close. Yeah, brick divided by 2. And then for Dex, I think it's multiplied by 2. The story behind $500 is actually the very first one was sold for $80. And that's actually brings us back to why I'm even making these videos of calculating the value. And the goal of the video is actually to show that origami can have value. But there still needs to be some work in origami in general. And if you're interested in selling origami, to be able to give it that kind of value. It's not meant to be a flex in the total number, but I mean, obviously there's a little bit, but it's also to help encourage, right? These started at $80, and then the last one I sold was $500. And basically what I was trying to see was, would anyone buy this? And I'll start low and just try to find someone that would buy it. And each time someone buys it, I'll increase the price and try to find, what's eventually the max that I can sell it for, that someone will actually pay for. And once I find that number, then that's kind of a cool thing because it gives the paper folding value, not just the paper, right? Not just the material cost. It actually translates the art into a varied amount. And with that, then other people, if they ask me what they should sell their origami for, I can recommend a number because there's actual experience of potential buyers. And that's really, unfortunately, right? This is like sales, basically. That's all that really matters is there a buyer? If no one is there that wants to buy it, you're not going to sell anything, right? You have to find someone that wants art, and then you can provide the art to sell. And I've kept finding those people and kept tweaking the price more and more and more. And as I worked hard over the years, right, it went from $80 to $100 to $150 to $200 to $250, and then I started just doubling. And in that case, that's how I got to the $500 mark. That's what these guys went for. And then I went even more. And that's what brings us to the next two, these guys. And does anyone remember how much I sold these for? And then the square twist was 3.5. This is the square twist. It's a little different. It's a little thinner. This is made from a mulberry. I actually think this paper is too thin. And then this is folded from a Elysian mulberry, which is thicker. So 25 GSM versus a 40 GSM. Quick math. Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do, this is what 2 plus 5. So in total, these two together is 55. That is 7, 8, 5, 2, I believe. Did I get that wrong? This is where my mental math does not work. 18,281. And we are getting up there in number, aren't we? All right. Wow. That's a big jump. Both are V4s. No. One of these is a square twist and the other is a V4. Oh, no, you're right, Mark. This one's a V4 as well. Just kidding. Okay, let's lower that really quick. These are not square twist samurai. Good catch. Good catch. Let me Control Z these. All right, so they're just, it's 4,000, not 5,000. Okay, that makes this easier then. Okay. 6 and 22. Yes. I looked here and I was like, oh, I think it's a square twist. And then I'm like, oh, there's no square twist. Never mind. Yeah, you're totally right. These are both V4s. And I think this one turned out really cool. This was one of my big level ups when I made this compared to the V3. And then I think I leveled down a little bit with this one where I tried to cook a cool design pose. Like it didn't work out as successfully as I had thought. For one, the paper ended up making it like way too thin. So like this looks like a beefy, strong samurai. This guy looks like you could take this guy out. Like this is like in Elden Ring when you first walk out of the gate and you see the tree sentinel. You know what I mean? Like you're a little bit more flimsy. The legs are flattened and so are the arms because the paper compressed a lot more. And even like width wise, he's like. Also, I think on this one, the helmet, I did a lot better job. There's just like more depth. This one, it's like, all right, I think, yeah, that's this model. Really cool. Blend of textures. I think the knees are really interesting. The hand, but pretty cool, right? Now, this one, how long did it take me to make? I spent around like 15 hours. That would include designing. I would say I spent around 12 hours folding and shaping. It was really fast. I would prefer to spend longer. But that's kind of all the time I had so that I could finish and then produce the video. So we'll go 12 hours. We'll shoot a little under. That gives us a perceived value of $156. And then the real value is, I'm not really going to count the kami because this is literally like 5 cents. The paper itself is $6, I believe, to type something. This is the Phoenix version 2. Tying back to my story from like half an hour ago about Tadashi Mori, this is the second version of that Phoenix with the improved longer tail, more tail feathers, and not an awkward back structure. It does have a little bit of a weird wing structure, but I gotta take some things and lose some other things. But overall, I think this is really cool. I think a few people in chat have mentioned they've finished folding this recently for folding. Kind of missed Tadashi, not gonna lie. Yo, me too, man. Me too. I'm right there with you. We're gonna say 15 hours, 195 plus 22832, 2307, and then material costs. This is like $3 worth of tissue paper because it's a little bit larger. Hey, buddy says hello, friend. Okay, other two really quick. This guy, I've seen some comments. He is a hex pleated scorpion made from origami dough paper. This is arguably the most expensive real value paper, actually, because this paper is one of the most expensive origami papers in the world, coming in at like a range of $15 to $20 per sheet. In person, you often get discounts. This one in particular was a $20 purchase online. I do have the other paper later on because I met the creators, which is Michael LaFosse and Richard Alexander, and they gave me some for free, which is great. But the paper's value is still, in this case, this guy is going to be $20 in real value. Really quick, I know $20 for a sheet of paper is crazy. Before, maybe $5 or $6 sounds really expensive for one sheet of paper. $20 is crazy, right? Okay, and then perceived value. This guy actually takes a fair bit of time, even though he's small. Not a crazy amount of time, but a little bit. So he's like 8 hours of effort. There's not as much to shape because, was it? I think that's right. Like it's just an insect. So once you shape out the legs and stuff, you don't have to give it a facial expression or a pose or anything. That's why it doesn't take as long as some of those humans we've seen earlier. All right, next up we have a paper that unfortunately is no longer in production. This is my anglerfish made from Washi Deluxe, which used to be a very easy to get paper, mostly off like Origami Shop, but it's no longer being manufactured, so I'm not sure how available this paper is anymore. But at the time, to get a single sheet of this size, I believe it was around $4 for like a 35 centimeter individual sheet. Very fun to fold. It used to be my favorite paper for folding like intermediate level folds, just because it's so fun. It's got that really nice texture with just a little bit of foil feel, and it's like it's great stuff. It really is great stuff. Yeah, very unfortunate that there's not as much of it around. I still have a lot of it, so I don't think I'll ever run out, but I'm not as like free to just use it on whatever I want, I guess, because I know what I have is all I have left. But very cool, very fun. Voice too humble. All right, we're gonna flex a little bit for this last segment of the review, and these are gonna be folds that helped me get the second place. Okay, I can't fit all of them on my table. Probably the biggest challenge for me in that competition, and that was Kusudama. I am not much of a modular folder, but I have great respect for modular folders. Let me just show this. Like, look at this thing. Isn't that crazy? And yeah, this paper, it's not patterned. You fold, the color changes. You can see maybe in one of them I messed up a little bit, right? You can see the fold. These are color changed triangles. All right, next up we have a Lynx. This is cute. This is using Edge River method box pleating, and I thought that was really unique for a design in the IO competition. You don't always see like Edge River method type designs there, and yeah, that made it really fun. I did some shaping to this. It's hard to tell whether it's a lynx or a dog or whatever, but at least in terms of the competition, the strategy is you make it look fancy. And so in this case, I chose Cansen's paper, which has a really nice finish. And as you can see, you can capture a lot of the shadows because this paper can hold a curve. So really nice paper, kind of simple, not anything too crazy going on, but you can see how there's a lot of interesting layer and techniques and reverse folds and stuff going along. It's a dog. Yeah, it does look like a dog. It's either a cat or a dog, but it's meant to be a lynx. Very fun to fold. And it was a crease pattern challenge. So this one might have tricked some people, but me being a box pleat guy, it was totally fine. It was very fun. All right, next up, we actually have something from the preliminary round. And this is actually a banana paper, Agua Papel. Just wanted to feature it. This is not the cheapest paper either. I think it's like $6 for a smaller sheet, but it's an air eater. And it's not always the case that I'll try to do a lot for the preliminary round because you basically just need to fold it. But I thought I did a decent job using the curves of the paper that really play to the strengths of this banana paper to keep things really clean and round. This is a 24 grid human. I have this one, and then I have a male version with different clothing. It has like a jacket from a 24 grid, a jacket and hair. Jared, you can maybe tell from the inside. I think it would be easier to tell if I didn't add any of these curves, but it's all like polygons. And then the way it's made, this should make sense that it's ERM, but especially on the inside, you can tell. Yeah, very weird, very weird. Because it was ERM, I folded it without adding creases in the grid. So it made it a little bit harder to collapse, but yeah, maybe you can't tell it's ERM because I didn't add the grid, but there is supposed to be grid stuff dividing like this. And like you would with this paper especially, you'd see it running through the entire body. I did a test fold and then this one to ensure I could do it without creases. I messed up a little bit here. You can see the grid here, but ignore that side and just, it's unavoidable for some. A moose. And I think this was Andrei Ermakov. It's actually right here. This is what the moose looks like in diagram form. Now, I thought that this looked a little bit more like an elk. So I tried to make it look a little bit more like a moose, but it still kind of just looks like an elk. That's okay. It's meant to be a moose. So I widened the area that was like normally in the diagram, you can see it's one, like it'd be like that thick. And then they're not layered. It's just like stacked on top of each other where the points are. So I tried to make it a little bit wider. I actually tried to study moose anatomy a lot. I think overall it looks neat. I didn't actually get that great of a score on this. This was one of my lower scoring folds. It still got second place, but like not the greatest. It is fairly round. And then this is like a Lokta paper, which I think is from Nepal. Lokta. And man, the texture is really cool. It was really fun to fold. This paper is really nice. And I think it turned out okay. I think there's just some weird things with the legs that I didn't get correct. And I could have done a more aggressive type curve shaping for the body, as well as a little bit better for the head. Lone hold, color choice was hopefully on point. Moose. Voice is a cool name. Thank you. Thank you. And that's because I was competing, right? But then if I'm designing new stuff, I need to learn more than the same thing. So, right, I make new things every time. So I make sure I can do animals. I make sure I can do different types of humans. I do a phoenix, a dragon, right? I give myself enough knowledge from different types of forms. So I know I can then use it in the other models. The only reason the square twist samurai exists, or even the version 4, was because I wanted to combine tessellations with representational folding, and that gave birth to the version 4, and then Mark converted that into the square twist samurai with that. Dex, I'm gonna head to bed now, boys. Excited to see you next week. Yes, Dex, I'm super excited to see you next week in the origami convention. Have a good rest. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. We're gonna go through the last fold, and then we got to go through my books, and that'll give us the completed value. You want to perfect it. You want to perfect not like Gordon Ramsay making grilled cheese. Yeah, see, Gordon can make a lot of good stuff, but man, his grilled cheese, that was the saddest, most unmelted grilled cheese on the internet, right? King Julian, what's up? Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Good to see you here. We are almost done reviewing all the origami, but we still have the origami books to go through, and that'll give us our final value. This one is probably my favorite animal of the competition that I made. This is a squid. It's like a really angry squid with some interesting color change. This area was like a little weird because not all the suckers are color changed. So I didn't really like that as much, but I think the vibe of an angry squid is really cute. Greg folds paper. I'm crashing. Guys, have fun. Good stuff. Thank you, man. Greg, I don't know if I'm going to see you in New York. I hope I've seen you in New York. I'm not sure if you're coming, but I see you in New York. I'll see you next week. If not, always great having you. Good stuff. Andrew Dolan. Hello, killing it, bro. Hope you're well. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well as well. Thanks for tuning in a little bit. We're doing still doing origami. Thank you. Hershey too. If you fold a crane every day for a year, you'll be really good at making cranes, but if you fold a new model every day. Yeah, see? Great explanation, Hershey. Very true. Okay, squid. Let's total these up really quick, and then we're going to move on to my book collection, final set of books. So I got some cool books, but all right, let's add this up. I think most of the material, okay, I'm going to do material value first. So is that it? Okay, so this one, material free, because I got for free. This is Unryu this is actually double Unryu. Don't do a double Unryu. That's a mistake, actually. It's way too thick. Okay, so 12-0. This is Kami. This is 32 sheets of Kami. One pack is $5. So let's say that's $2 in total. So 14. This one is 5.19. This one is 4.23. Lokta 7.30. Okay, $30 real value. And then time for our perceived value. Okay, this one took this one took 4 hours because I did it without the grids in it. 4 hours. This was like 2, so 6. This was around 40. Yeah, so what did I say? 2, 4, 6, 36. This is 7, 40. I'm bad at math, guys. Remember, don't judge me. Or you can judge me. It's okay. 43. If I'm a little off, it's just an hour, right? 43. This one took around 10:53. This one took around 4:47. 47 hours. Oh, I missed the tessellation. 47. This one took around 3 hours. Okay, even 50. We'll call it even 50 hours for just these. And then this is elephant hide, which is like $2 in a pack. Okay. 40, 50. Okay, so in total, this is $6.50 of perceived value. And then let's add the $2 for the elephant hide and move on from folds. There we go. This is a Scutagera. Let's ask chat. Have you guys seen this in your house before? This is either good or bad for you if you've seen it. Sold Monk asked how to fold a 24 grid. I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel on how to fold grids. You should go check that out. Demjin said yes. Oriholic says they're super creepy. That's true. Adds a lot of legs. We are still live, Peter. We are still live. I hope. It looks like we are. Yeah, that's a lot of legs, right? This is the Scutagera designed by Jacob S. Fantastic Scutagera design. I really like this. And there's some fun stories with this. So I've been able to meet Jake before. And I've also been able to meet another designer who has made a Scutagera design. That person you might know is Brian Chan. So it's around the same thickness as single tissue paper, but it compresses a lot more and it comes in larger sheets. So this is like 65 centimeter, 10 GSM. You can see through the paper entirely if like you put it over your hand. Crazy thin, really hard to work with. The crease pattern was absolutely insane. I think it's 104 grid. And to get all these legs, like really crazy. I think there was actually a live stream where I worked on it. So if any of y'all were watching on Twitch back in the day when I folded it, you know you're an OG. YouTube didn't have live streaming yet. That's what we're talking about. There was no YouTube live back in the day. But I'm a fan of this insect in general. I just find it so fascinating. I'm gonna say this one took like 20 hours. 260, 24, 7. Add in the real value, so 52 because the paper was $6. 32. I think I need to sit down. Good one, Spot. All right, we're gonna go in these in order. I think dollar origami book. This one is another one by Juan Park. This one is signature is that dollar koi. It's got a little butterfly in there. This one's $20. I know I've never gone to actually opening this book. One unfortunate thing about being a origami designer is sometimes you just are so busy with your own projects, you don't have time to fold all the books you want to buy or receive. So in this case, I just was working on a lot of other stuff. I was never able to get to some of these dollar origamis. And I never even opened a book. But it's cool. Maybe one day I'll get to it. I think the camera is really sweet. That book, this one, I think this was actually a gift from RC that I mentioned before, who gave me the paper for the Elasmosaurus. Or maybe not. Maybe I bought this one. It's 1,600 yen, which is like, what is that, $12 now? I don't think I folded much from this book either. That panda is really cute. I think this was a gift. And if it wasn't and I bought it, it's because I wanted to fold the panda. I think that's the most interesting thing in the book. It's like there's also some like clothes for dogs. But man, that panda is cute, right? Very cute. Next up, new generations of origami. This book is cheaper now than it was in the past. I bought this full price, the Kodo Yamaguchi book, but we're just going to go based on, that's 2,100 yen. So I probably bought this for like $30 US in total with shipping. Nowadays, I think this is $15. But this book is really cool. It says, good night. I'll check the final price tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining in. Hi, I'm taking my turn to make an origami samurai. Awesome. Hope it goes well. Hope you have a lot of fun folding that. Samurais are fun. Very clever. I folded most of One Park dollar origami models. Some are challenging and have to use American $1 as Australian notes are unfoldable plastic. That's fair. Yeah, for even with the American dollars, I need to find like a crisp one when they're more complex because they get very soft if it's an old dollar bill. But that's good to know. Yeah, it looks pretty challenging, some of those folds in there. I will have to try to get to it. This is a Cade-Chan Frost Dragon, but one of the signatures in this book was the Grim Reaper by Miyamoto Chura. I might have pronounced that incorrectly. It also has the Bodo giraffe. You know Bodo, right? That's this Bodo. The crazy color change. This is color change animal Bodo at the time. Pretty cool. I potentially want to fold this and this, but like it's going to take a lot of time. I don't know if I have time. These are the two models in this book that I would really want to fold. I actually helped test fold this one for Cade. If you might have seen, I've actually done like a video tutorial collaboration with Cade in the past. Again, I was once upon a time a super big fanboy of Cade-Chan. And then eventually, got to the point where I could help him with a video. That's really cool. And then test folded the diagram. That was really, really, really cool. Again, never thought I'd be there, but here we are now. But yeah, in the past. Okay, next one is Origami Dragons Premium. This is the Ancient Dragon 2.0 that I showed earlier. Folded a lot better by Satoshi Kamiya. This is, I gotta say, one of the most awesome books out there because, like, when I was first doing origami, all I wanted to do was fold dragons. And this book is literally only dragons. So a lot of times I would be looking for books like from the library or, anything with any kind of dragon in there. And this one just has every dragon, right? The only ones I folded from here so far is, well, I've done Fiery Dragon version 2, but that was from Tadashi Mori's tutorial. I've done the Ancient Dragon, and I've done the Wyvern by, Minamoto Chuya Minamoto. Not Chura. Chuya. Oh, I forgot. Price. Bodo has been in chat before. Yeah. Bodo's asleep right now. I think if I streamed another 5 hours, then we'd get Bodo into chat. Fortunately, this is not his time zone. Okay, this is 22, so let's just say that's $16. I got 915 here, and then this one is 30. Origami Aquarium. So you saw before my copy of Origami Sea Lives. Actually, I think I have another copy of it here, which will be here. We'll get to this right afterwards. This was my first origami book of more complex stuff. John Montrell, Robert Lang, both who I've met / meet with frequently or see and know, very awesome people, pinnacles of American origami and origami in general. Definitely some of the greats. And for me, one of the greatest origami books of all time. That's just my opinion. But the next one, Origami Aquarium, this says models from Satoshi Kamiya, from Beth Johnson, from Ryan Dong, I think. A really good, variety of origami designers making some really cool origami. Is that neat? I mean, look how cute this shark is. Yeah, really awesome. Love this book. Let me add this book value, and then I will respond to more questions. Good old times. That shark looks happy and sad at the same time. It's just like, oh no. Paper's brighter than my future. Hey, same here. Yeah, that is bright paper. That's my favorite paper to test fold with. Origami Sea Life. One of the most influential origami books of my life. I still want to fold that blue crab. I haven't. I tried the sailfish when I was younger and I failed. So I should try that again. Look at this. $10.95 in the United States. I got a used copy because I originally had a copy I bought years ago at the Monterey Aquarium. And I lent it to someone and they didn't give it back, unfortunately. I folded the blue shark from a 2.5 meter paper, a really, really large one. Made that for school as an advertisement for our art show. I still have that. That's a really cool piece. I need to feature that sometime in a video. But yeah, really cool, right? Love this book. This was like $5 used. Okay. Oh, next. Okay, these actually aren't origami books, but I do recommend them. I'm not going to go too much into detail. If you watch my previous streams on how I tell people to think about faces and proportions in humans, I tell them to learn academic drawing or at least watch videos to gain understanding on what you need to know about anatomy to do realistic humans. I've bought these 2 books. These are point drawing character guides for every part of the human body. And I've been studying. I need to study these more. I've only gone through 1 book. So this one is general form of body and pose and proportion overview. This one is hardcore detail face, foot type of stuff. Look how they construct the arch of the foot based on the simple forms first. Same here. It's got its most simple form, then the secondary form, and then you can render from that. Study. These specific ones, this is a Korean, I don't know what the title is. I just see taco, point character drawing. You can find it on Amazon. Highly recommend. I was recommended this by my art friend, who maybe you'll see a collaboration with me and her at some point, but you can see I draw this a lot when I talk about heads. Study. Origami Insects and Their Kin. Robert Lang, classic insects book. I think this came out before Insects 2, so this was a lot lower level of an insect book than Insects 2, where Insects 2 is Robert Lang and more other people's insects, just a combination of crazy insects. But this scorpion, I'd wanted to make this for so long, and then eventually I gained the skill to fold it. Tadashi Mori's, which is another really cool one, $12.95. We're gonna call that 13. But yeah, really cool book. This book is older than me and most people in chat, I think. All right, convention book 2018. Convention books, I just say they're $20. So that's how much they sell for at convention. This one is 2018. So this is my second Origami USA convention I've been to. Bought the book. There's a jumping frog on the cover. Beautiful book. Good variety of models. I think I actually folded some of these. There's some cool ones in here. I might have to revisit. You always get fun surprises from convention books because there's just like big mix of things that people submit. You never know what you're going to get. Amazing origami designs. This is an Origami house book. This one was pretty expensive. Isn't that cute? So cute. And then like literally you can look at the back of this book and see that. That's cool. That's some lore right there. Hajiwara, let's get this book. This is a 3,200 yen book. I'm just going to say it's $30. I definitely bought it for more, but we're not going to say it's a $20 book. That's crazy. All right, we're almost there. This was my dream as a kid when I first started origami to own one of these books. Now, after I got my job, saved up, I bought all of them. So we'll go through one by one. This is the classic 1995 to 2003, worked by Satoshi Kamiya. Ancient Dragon was the big one here. The other one I was really interested in, also this color change wings, crazy. This has the wizard. This was one of the coolest humanoids I had seen at the time because I was a big fan of Lord of the Rings. Crazy. I love this book so much. Works 2. Phoenix. Absolutely insane. You can see the crease pattern here, actually. Crazy how it's done. There's a Minotaur, another kind of humanoid thing. And I believe this one has the Cyclomatus Metallifer, which if you saw, I actually folded this from Kami. It can be done with Kami. Isn't that nuts? Really one of my favorites origami insects, I think. I really like this design. I know there's other ones out there, but this one is just so cool. The way it's put together with the level shifter, and then there's like a mix of box pleat techniques and like other origami techniques, 22.5 stuff. Really satisfying, really cool to fold. I recommend people folding it. Amazing book. Then I met the man himself, Kamiya Satoshi, and I got this book. I bought 3 copies, I think, as well, to give to people, maybe 4 copies. And because I met him in real life, ooh, that's a flex. These things have done way more than you could possibly imagine. I got very upset by some people's takes on Reddit recently regarding books. I'm also all for origami knowledge being free. That's why I do this. Like literally almost all my stuff is free. I've provided so much free knowledge, but we have to respect the knowledge in these books that were created by these people. We got to respect it. All right, last one here. Works by Satoshi Kamiya. No, this is a World of Super Complex Origami. This is the red book. Really nice. This has the Ryujin crease pattern. Only legit version. I know it's been shared everywhere on the internet. Speaking of my thing of piracy, but whatever. It's been blown out of proportion, but I wanted it. I folded a Ryujin and I wanted this book. So that was part of my condition for myself for making that model is I need the book. I need the real copy. I'm going to make the Ryujin. Very proud to have this book. These books are very expensive. I'm actually going to look up their current price and use that based on Origami Shop because I think on the back it's going to give me 4,000 yen and it's definitely more expensive. Also, editor, that message about books, make sure that's in the video. This is for the future when you're watching this. Thank you. These are in euros. I'm just going to convert them to dollars because I don't think I spent that much on these, but I definitely spent close to this amount. So we're going to say 80 euros is $80. Let me grab my phone's right here. So 80 plus 80 plus 35. Wait, why is this one on? Oh, this says default. Okay. 80, 80, 40. The third one's not here. We're going to say that one's 80 as well. I have a signed copy, right? It can be 80. So 80 times 3 plus 280. Too many twos. I was like, that doesn't look right. Right. And my folding friends, that brings us to the final total of $17,268 origami collection. I originally thought it was going to be close, but under $10,000. Here we are, $17,000. And I think there's actually quite a lot of that is books and then the other models as well. Announcements. I just want to kind of chat with you guys. So I briefly mentioned that the next week is the origami convention and I want to maybe do a live stream, but more importantly, I'm going to be filming my experience there. I've done a different kind of vlog each year and I want to change it up even more. So asking you guys live, what would you want to see from the origami convention? Feel free, spit out some ideas. I'm going to take some and and mix it in with my current plans and see what. I honestly don't know exactly what kind of plan I'm going to do. In previous years, I've done interviews with various designers. At Peacock, I did games. I don't think I can do games this year. I don't have as much to give away. But yeah, did you like the interviews? Do you want to hear more? Maybe that can be a separate video. Do you want to see the folding? Do you want to see more of my collaboration fold? More exhibition, maybe more exhibition interviews where we did more of like question interviews, like what tips do you have for people? But maybe some more exhibit reviews. Do you want to see like class reviews? Class is kind of hard because we're not supposed to record the class. Yeah, just let me know. I think I'll always keep the oversized folding part in the video just because that's one of the most fun events is the oversized folding. So we'll see that for sure. Thank you so much. I hope you all had a great time. This was going to be edited into like a master video of all 3 collections. So when that comes out, if you want to see some of it or you've missed part of this video or the last streams, it'll be in a much more condensed version for you. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'm excited to bring you some new content next week. Hopefully early next week will be a collaboration video with Brandon Wong, the plant psychologist. And then we've got the convention. So stay tuned. We're keeping it exciting. Go fold some paper, get some good rest, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. There you go. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you.
And that was my origami collection. Now, I hope you enjoyed watching that. And I just want to reiterate this video, it's not to flex or anything like that. The purpose of the video is to show that origami has value. And every piece of origami that gets sold adds to the origami community in general in the efforts of not just having it be a craft, but also being an art. So I hope that's kind of the takeaway of this whole video. And just to show you that, origami really is getting up there. It has value. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what your favorite piece from my collection was, whether it was one of the models or maybe one of the books. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.
All this origami, all this origami, all this origami got me going kamikaze.